Suck our dicks! Yeah! Suck our dicks! Suck our dicks! Suck our dicks! Suck our dicks! It just doesn't matter! Suck our dicks! It just doesn't matter! Suck our dicks! I tell you, it just doesn't matter! It just doesn't matter! It just doesn't matter! It just doesn't matter!
Little woman I love is named Ramona. She kinda looks like Tempest Storm, and she can dance like a little Egypt. She works down the snake farm. Snake farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake farm, it pretty much is snake farm. It's a reptile house, snake farm. Ramona's got a keen sense of humor. She got a tattoo down her arm. It's of a python eating a little mouse, wearing a sailor hat that says Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, it pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. I asked Ramona how come she works there. She says, well, it's got its charm. There's nothing to do in the winter now, then some kid gets paid at the Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, it pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention something. This is a sing-along. Really. It goes Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. It ain't exactly kumbaya, but being the music fog, it ought to be perfect. Help me now, be on TV. It said Snake Farm, just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. Getting into it now. Well, Ramona likes malt liquor and a band from Wales that's called The Alarm. She said she cried when they broke up. She still plays the record at the Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. Sometimes Ramona calls me up and says, come on down here, it's getting warm. And she runs everybody off, and we, you know, it's the Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, it pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. Help me now. I said Snake Farm, just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, it pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm.
Rise and shine. You awake? Rise and shine. I believe the people are waking up from sleeping long enough, from the spell we are under. I woke up to the morning thunder, finally awake from our slumber, to the spell we are under. I woke up to the morning thunder. I woke up to the morning thunder. sunshine.
morning.
It's time to rise and
Welcome to
shine.
ClusterF.
I seen the lightning
Got a full
strike,
house today.
and I heard the thunder
What's up, John? Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, no problem. Good morning.
That
Berlin.
Snake Farm song gets worse every time I hear it.
Worse.
Worse.
Most people
You know,
love
I
it.
used to like it. Now I'm like,
Oh,
man,
I love it.
This is getting more. I mean, he's downplaying it the whole time. He's like, it ain't no kumbaya, but fuck it, we're gonna sing it anyway.
It's a good song. You can't help it. The crowd was dead. They didn't get it.
I don't know if I want to know, but I don't get it either. What is?
It sounds like she's talking about some girl that likes a lot of penises. It's like a calm down version of Nicki Minaj.
I didn't get that at
I
all.
think he works. His girlfriend works at the Snake Farm.
Does she really work at the
Yeah,
Snake
I
Farm?
think she really works at the
I thought we
Snake
talked
Farm.
about it before when we decided snakes were wieners.
I think you know it's kind of like he's making a joke about it.
Yeah.
'Cause it just sounds nasty.
It does
But I'm
sound
pretty
nasty.
sure-
Pretty much is.
Pretty sure that.
Why is it pretty much is if it's just snakes?
Well, snakes are nasty. I don't know.
Maybe they are. I guess I wouldn't
I don't
know.
know. Snakes are nasty. Saw a big black snake the other day. You know, they just startle you when you almost step on them over at the other house. Just walking, it was big. It was about that big. Usually it's pretty thick for a black. Could have been a moccasin.
I caught a corn snake the other day, and I threw it a couple, away from my house, and it just my entire body smelled like shit, man. They smell terrible.
Just that snake or all snakes smell terrible.
I don't think all snakes smell great,
you
but
sure it was
this one
from the
was
snake?
actually yeah.
Maybe they
Yeah.
released something on you.
Oh, it was pretty gross.
Was it a shit smell or was it like a sulfur, like a
Sulfur kind of
musk?
smells like shit. So yeah, all three, all of the above. It wasn't good.
The snake
Wasn't pleasant.
expressed his anal glands on it.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I guess this is real. I saw this is like a. This is see this this morning. This is like a takeoff of what's the show?
Breaking
The
Bad?
Breaking Bad. How'd you know?
Because I
You saw the guy. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a chip commercial, but it's really good. And there's so flow. There's so flow still yapping in the background. But this is I like commercials like this where they really go all out.
Yo, these are the bomb.
And they're air popped, not fried.
Popcorners. You're an artist.
Actually, Jesse, it's just basic ingredients. No, we don't eat our own supply.
Mr. White.
Jesse,
Everyone's gonna want to taste. And I know just the guy to talk to. What are these? We call them popcorners.
say their name.
Popcorners. Take! Yeah! How much of this stuff do you have? We've got 6 signature flavors, Joe. 7! You make 7!
7 works. Yeah. Popcorners. Break into something good.
Makes me want to eat some popcorn.
Yeah, me
recent?
too.
There's a tag. I missed the tag. He's coming back. Here we go. Here we go.
Something good.
We're gonna eat a lot of snacks together.
I probably the only person, maybe Donna too. I never saw Breaking Bad.
No.
I didn't either.
I never saw it.
Yeah.
Any of you guys?
Yeah.
I stole the DVD from you guys that I watched, but it was only like 5 episodes, so I've watched 5 episodes 14 times,
Oh
and that's
my
about it.
I watched all of them.
Did you, Wes? I think Weston was a Breaking Bad guy.
Yeah, they made a bunch of spin-offs off of that. Like one was about the lawyer.
Better
and I
Call
think-
Saul, Better Call Saul.
Yeah, I saw
I
that.
didn't see any of
I
those.
tried so hard, like it seemed like it was gonna get funny for like 2 seasons, and then I was like, it's just not.
I think
It's
you
not
had
gonna
to
happen.
see like the Breaking Bad to kind of get the dynamic.
I don't think it would have made it any better.
Really?
It
I
was
only
really
saw like
slow
a bit of
pace.
one episode, and it kind of they had some old characters from
Yeah,
the
it was
show.
real slow. Like the preview was like a gunfight,
Yeah.
and then I watched like 2 seasons of it, and like nobody shot a gun.
Yeah, it seemed pretty dry. I watched one episode. It seemed pretty dry too, so I didn't go back. Was it you? Did you tell me that you watched the Adam Sandler, his new comedy special?
Yeah.
What was it called? I don't know. Don't worry about what it's called. Did you like it?
No, right?
I thought it was pretty
No,
good.
right?
Did you like it?
I'm trying to think of which one it was.
He sang.
It had a ton of little songs, you know.
Oh,
the little
I'm
songs
not
he
sure
did.
I saw that unless
Okay.
it was a while ago. I watched his new movie that I thought was
that must be.
or
what
it
you
was an
told me.
older movie I watched of his, and I was like, this is dog
Oh,
shit.
my
Whatever. Nothing he says makes any sense.
Were you guys fans of like the old SNL songs he used to do?
Yeah, I mean, I was not like a crazy, but I always thought he was pretty good. He's got a unique style for sure. A lot of his,
I always thought his movies were bad.
I didn't care for his movies. A lot of people love those movies. I didn't care for. I
There's
like
a
The Wedding Singer. I thought The Wedding Singer was pretty good.
There's a couple of
Yeah.
his movies that are good, but
yeah, there was a couple.
Yeah, same.
they say he pops out movies like nobody else. That's why he's in so many movies. They're like, but I think they like make him to where they're like, all right, come down for a week and make this movie.
Yeah.
He's like, I got it.
That's his deal.
One take, but they just do one take regardless of how bad
Yeah.
it
I'm
is.
pretty sure that's how it is. One take, unless they totally screw it up. Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, I was because I'm not a huge Adam Sandler fan, but it was mostly him doing little songs, like 30 to 40-second songs, and they were cute.
They were on. It was on or off.
It was pretty
you know,
good.
some
It was
were
pretty good.
Did you watch the
Oh,
new
the-
Nate Bargatze?
Not yet.
Oh,
What's
I texted
that?
you about it. A comedian. You gotta watch one of
There's
his
a new
his
one?
first. Yeah, it just came out. His first one got me. He's my favorite comedian now.
Yeah, he was so
I was
funny.
like I had me dying, and then the next two were pretty good.
Yeah, the first one was the best one, I think. Yeah, we'll probably that gives us something to watch this
Yeah.
weekend.
I like his delivery. I like how he talks.
He started off being a little bit too dumb, like playing the dumb card because I think people like that. But then I was laughing the whole time.
I gotta look him up.
Yeah, he's funny.
I mean, nobody I know knows who Nate Bargatze is. He's got a weird name too. I don't know if that's a hindrance into him getting popular.
I don't know. It was the last one I just watched seemed like there was a lot more people at his thing than I think he's just coming up.
Is he older?
Yeah, he's like 40 something, 43.
What do you think of Bill Burr?
He's pretty funny.
he's
I mean,
I think he's really funny.
he's so angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the only like comedian I've like thought anything of in the past, I don't know, decade or
Yeah.
so.
Watching an old Dave Chappelle show,
Oh yeah,
I
he's
didn't realize how
always
much
good.
he was in. Bill Burr was in that.
Really, Bill
Uh-huh.
Burr? Like just making guest appearances?
Yeah.
Don't know that either.
And then he might have been a writer or something.
He was in the Pete Davidson movie too.
Yeah. Something about
He was good. He was good as
About
a
Staten Island.
as
yeah.
a the king of Staten Island. As a dramatic actor, he was really good. It was a really good role.
I still have yet to see that because you have to buy it.
The movie?
Yeah.
You guys saw it. Was it any good?
It wasn't
it
bad.
wasn't a hilarious movie. It was like a pretty good movie.
It wasn't really comedy.
Good, and it was a little bit funny.
I mean, he makes himself out to be a total asshole the whole movie.
Pete?
Yeah, and you really don't like him. He's like one of those people. He's a real dick. But then he kind of comes around at the end. It kind of saves it. At the end because he turns around and becomes not such an asshole.
Did he have any funny anything at the Pro Bowl games? I didn't see much of him.
No, I didn't hear anything. He didn't make any news. I used to like him more than I do now. He just kind of
Overrated.
he
now.
thinks he's too cool now.
Wasn't the Pro Bowl a flag football game?
Yes, it was.
Oh my God! I only stopped on it for a moment, and it was like a women's flag football game, and I watched it for like 30 seconds or so.
I'm thinking you were watching the wrong thing, John.
I don't know if there was like a halftime thing, but why the flag football? Were people actually liking that? Was
John
it
drove
worth
by
watching?
a field on the side of the road, and some women were playing flag football. It's like, is that the Pro Bowl?
It said Pro Bowl on the dude. I don't know.
I didn't see
I
that.
didn't see any girls playing. But
I didn't see that
maybe
either.
they
Well,
did.
we only watched it for an hour. They may have had that. They had all kind of events. Could have been a cheerleader deal or something. But we watched the real flag football game. It was pretty good. Because I never watched the Pro Bowl because you tune it in and it's like 48-52, and they're not really trying.
Yeah.
And they all because they don't want to get hurt. But in flag football, they seem to put a little more effort into it because they're not gonna get
tackled.
Yeah, they're gonna get decleated.
Did they have any linemen playing or anything? Or
I mean, they had like a center, and he was a lineman, and he'd snap the ball, but you couldn't block, so then he'd just sit there. Like, I don't seem like much part of a team. It was interesting. I think it was a good switch because I don't think you can do an all-star game in football
anymore.
Because people don't want to get hurt. It's
they make
it's
too
the
much
most,
money to get hurt.
Plus, it's the most violent. It's no big deal to play a baseball game.
Yeah,
nobody's gonna get hurt. But in football, 2-3 guys could blow out their knees.
I almost want to call them little bitches, for not trying in the Pro Bowl game with pads. But at the same time, I'm like, then you do hurt yourself and you're out. $20 million.
And I think if Trace is in the Pro Bowl and Trace is playing safety and he's clocking these wide receivers, a bunch of guys are going to come to you and say, "It's the fucking Pro Bowl. Stop it, Trace. What the fuck are you doing? You're going to hurt somebody."
Been there.
Take your $80,000 and your free Hawaii vacation and chill out. I think that's what they'd say.
Yeah, I wouldn't think they'd get paid like the regular games. But the people who they would get for the Pro Bowl, like the best of the best in the league, they're going to be the ones who can't get hurt more than all the other people. So it just makes it that much kind of more.
How much did they make for the flag football game? I remember
$84,000
for the winners,
and the losers won $42,000.
Yeah,
I think. I don't know. Those guys probably don't really care that much to try for $40,000.
Yeah,
right.
I'll just take my loser share. I mean, I just do it because I want
people.
I just do it because I want to win, because I want to have bragging rights.
Man, that's a lot of money though, even for a football player to win a flag football game, right?
$84,000, yeah.
That's
I
a
would
lot of
think
money.
so.
I guess they're the Pro Bowler, so they're the best. But I mean, how much does the average football player make? That doesn't, not a quarterback or a receiver, but just like a decent defensive person or lineman.
If you're starting in the NFL, you're probably making close to $1 million. Everybody, even just
I know, but also your career only lasts so long because you're playing football. You gotta save that money up.
The average is 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, is that
and
what
you're
you
out.
do, Trace? You'd be saving all that money up?
Save all that money.
Uh-huh.
Do you know Johnny Manziel?
Yeah.
See, Trace is Johnny Manziel.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Football in Texas. he amazing college quarterback. Beat Alabama. Just everybody loved Johnny Football. Then he got like a $20 million contract, and you never heard from him again.
That's what That's
Actually,
what's
you did.
up.
There's a video of him with a wad of cash going, "Hello, hello, I can't hear you. I got too much fucking money in my head."
He's Trace. He just partied himself out of the league. He wasn't studying the playbook.
I'd make that $20 million last me the rest of my life, and I'd never have to work again.
Bullshit.
No, he wouldn't.
No, you're such a liar.
That's the biggest lie I've ever heard.
He'd be down to about 500,000 right now.
If that. How long ago are we talking? Let's go.
Well, it depends on how long Jerry was hanging out with him.
Yes.
So Jerry
my
would be
God.
siphoning money from
my
the Trace.
God.
Yeah.
Trace
Like
wouldn't
nobody's-
even know it. Trace would
Yeah.
have Jerry in charge of his money.
If you talk to my manager Jerry over there, he'll cut you a
His
check.
golden throne.
Don't
We
worry.
need the golden throne, Jerry.
I'll pay you back. I promise.
Oh my God. Oh my. It's true.
I'm not as bad as David when it comes to getting scammed out of money from Jerry, but like it always seems to happen. Somehow he convinces me to give him like $8 or $9, and he's like, "I'll pay you back," and then I never even pursue it. I'm just like, yeah, right. It's usually for like a bag of chips or something, so it's not too big of a deal. But he convinced David to buy him but rent him a tractor. Remember that whole ordeal we went through where they were
Oh, my
planning on
God.
making a koi pond
They're
and
gonna-
a Zen garden?
They were going to totally landscape their whole property. Those two.
How did that turn out?
Jerry just got the bulldozer, woke up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, pissed all his neighbors off, and just kind of bulldozed around his yard for a couple hours.
Just looking cool. Just looking cool. Lifting the bucket up and down.
Right next to the neighbor's house. And just driving in reverse for no reason.
Oh my god.
It's like if everybody's looking at me, I need to go change my clothes.
Did he have a hard hat? I can see him buying a hard hat for it.
David bought the hard hat, you know.
I wish somebody got a video of that.
I know.
With the sun just popping up, Jerry like all raccoon-eyed and, you know, bugged out.
Couldn't sleep last night because I had it sitting in the yard.
I couldn't wait. Couldn't wait to do nothing on that bulldozer.
I wish I knew he had that. I could have borrowed it.
He was too busy on it.
I could have got him to drive it all the way here. Maybe.
Yeah, you could have
Yeah,
reversed
for
in
sure.
your yard for 6 hours.
I sent you that Johnny Manziel video.
Oh, okay, real quick. Well, let's go to the Johnny Manziel.
Yeah,
I mean, he was so good in college.
Isn't he? Is he still playing for Canada or no? Is he done with that?
Haven't heard a peep from Canada. I heard he was going to, but then I never heard anything.
what do you do to like get in trouble? Did you do something to get in trouble?
No, he just sucked because he didn't
I don't
practice.
understand how you do that. How can you How could you sign a contract and still get the money and not play?
Oh no, he played for like a year, maybe a year and a half, and he just didn't do anything. He was he's constantly throwing interceptions and stuff, and it was he just partied. You could tell there's always stuff on social media and partying. He just got too much money at a young
bet they
age,
had
and
to-
some people can't handle it.
I bet they had to change the way they did contracts over that.
I don't think so. They actually. I heard this thing about the NFL on the radio the other day, and I think they pay almost $1 billion to people that aren't even part of the NFL. Just
my
like players
God.
that got big contracts and then got hurt, and coaches that they fired and still got 5 years left on their contract.
Ugh.
But
Disgusting.
they can afford it. They can afford it. Here's Johnny Manziel. This could be why he didn't last in the NFL.
Yo, Club, are you answering? I can't hear.
We can't hear you.
There's too much money in my fucking hand.
I can't hear you. Just answer it or not.
I'll call you back.
Call you back. Call you back.
0 to 100. Real quick. Real fucking quick.
I can't remember what's he saying. I couldn't understand.
0 to 100. Real fucking flip.
Oh man, that that. I was disagreeing with you, but that is a little bit of a me, Jerry David video.
That's
right
for
there.
sure, Tracy. Got too much fucking money in my hand.
You would think that if he was going out and like bombing every Sunday, though, that he'd be too embarrassed to act like that. You would think.
What? I can't hear you. I got too much fucking
Yeah,
money,
you
bro.
can't hear the critics. He's got too much fucking money.
I mean, football fans are serious. I have a hard time believing that they'd be just cool with somebody acting like that, who's just going out and being trash and obviously.
Yeah.
What are
why
you
they
saying? You
got- that's
trashing me? I can't hear you. I got too much fucking money.
That's why they got rid of him. That's why he was going out for the Canadian Football League last year.
Oh God,
Here's-
is that doing good?
What, Canadian Football League?
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever been
same as it ever was.
How long
As it
has it
ever
even
was.
been around? I have
Oh,
no idea.
forever.
Oh, really?
When I was a kid, for Canadian Football League.
I thought it was new.
No, Canadian
they-
Football League's been around forever.
Really? Do they ever have a NFL versus?
No.
Canadian? Why?
I don't know. Why would maybe they get slaughtered.
Yeah, I think.
But
So?
it seemed like it'd be a huge,
Are
like
they
a
as
hype deal.
Good as
I don't think so.
us, or do they all come here?
They all anybody who can't make it in the NFL goes to Canada. And they got a few of their own players. They don't like, it's not a big, if you don't have a big college football industry,
Yeah.
I mean,
you're not going to get any players.
between football and basketball and football and basketball, I've never heard of another league that was paying like more than like $40,000 for the people playing. Like, there's never been a
Soccer
real
and
successful
not here. Soccer in England. And
soccer.
stuff.
Yeah, but I said football and
It's
basketball.
it's the four it's the four majors, and that's it: baseball, basketball, football, and hockey. You got a bunch of millionaires.
Yeah.
And everybody else ain't making dick. And I mean, like women's softball, women's basketball. What kind of men's sport? It's not making dick.
Canadian football.
Canadian football.
Any type of football, anywhere else.
U.S. soccer, you're not making that much money.
What about golf? If you're not,
Oh God.
Oh, golfers.
Golf.
Are,
Oh.
Oh my God. We Googled like some of the purses for these tournaments, and it's astounding. Like you could come in like 20th place and make $1 million. I was like,
Really?
what the hell?
wow.
What the hell?
what about? Is there another golf league? Like Division 2. Like they have like the XFL and stuff.
I think they do have, but I don't. Who pays attention to that? So,
No,
but I
There
think
is
they do
now.
have lower
Isn't
level.
that the what did the Saudis?
Well,
just
that's
start?
that's a competitor for the big PGA. So
Yeah.
they're both the top dogs, and they both have the best players. But now it's split in half
Yeah,
because they took a bunch.
the
Hey,
Saudis just started their own league and
What
took,
them Saudis doing?
I
and
don't
every-
know why. I guess
money. Plus, they're huge marks for celebrities, and they want to hobnob with these celebrities. That's when you're that rich, you buy league.
Why didn't they start their own football league then? Take half the football players.
Do you make a lot
Really
as a
like-
Chinese basketball player?
I don't know. Imagine.
I feel
if
like
you're
that's
good-
the
if you're
second
good-
best
if
league
you're
in the
good-
world.
If you're good.
I know a lot of
Really?
people. I think I've just heard of a couple people that went and played basketball in China.
What about Russia? Are they good at
In
basketball?
what?
Their women's basketball league is apparently something. That's why.
That's where Brittany Griner
Yeah.
was playing.
Yeah.
Russia's. I don't ever remember. Back in the day, maybe in the 70s, they would compete with us because it was our amateurs. The Olympics, they wouldn't let professionals play until I can't remember, like 20 years ago or 30 years ago. So it was all amateurs. So we would get our asses kicked in, hockey and basketball and all this stuff because they all put their professional teams in there.
Why wouldn't we
until
let our professionals play?
It was just like, because that's originally the concept of the Olympics was, just amateur athletes, and
Oh.
slowly it just changed to where everybody's making big bucks.
I think it was a DVD John might have had, but I was watching this thing called like "Coming Through the Fire," "Coming on the Fire," something weird.
Coming on the fire.
And it was
That
about
wasn't
this
it
guy
at all.
Sebastian Telfair, who was supposed to be, the next big thing coming up in the NBA. And it was so old of John's collection that I could already look up if he made it, And he was in high school or just got put into college, and he didn't do shit and went to the Chinese league. But I think he became like a 6'2", was all the taller he got.
He didn't grow.
He didn't grow, so he didn't make
What's his
it.
name? Sebastian.
Telfair. I don't know how I remember that. I think I watched it like.
Was
80
he the
times.
Jewish Michael Jordan or
I
not?
don't think so.
Because this was a few years ago. There was like a 14 or 15-year-old Jewish Michael Jordan, and he never did dick though. He probably didn't grow.
Yeah, there's a lot of those videos of like 13 and 14-year-olds that they're like, oh, he's gonna be the next LeBron James, and then he never goes anywhere.
What country is it that Doncic is from? Luka Doncic.
One
or
of them,
whatever?
one of them Eastern European countries, like a Serbia or Croatia or a kind of deal like that. I think.
Yeah, I know he had a couple people from that country that were known for being really good, but I don't know if they have their own league or how that all worked.
How come we never hear about like Canada's real close to us, and you never hear about like Canadian universities or we just
Can you name one Canadian university?
Could never, but I bet they can name some United States.
I bet they can
ones.
name our exceptional universities.
Right?
Canada.
And we can't even
We know one of your colleges.
and we're right here hooked to them, and they.
I
don't
mean,
know
oh,
nothing.
does-
Do they
does
play
Can-
college football?
no. Well, they might.
They might. We don't even know, right?
Does Canadian college and degrees and doctor degrees, does those carry over to America?
I don't think so.
That's a good question.
Can you be a doctor in Canada and then be
I
a
think
doctor in the United States?
You get some sort of credits because Stephanie's
Yeah.
trying to do that with her degree,
I mean, I don't know if it's, Canada is different. I know a couple other places where they were, what was it? They were needing dentists. Remember we just watched that?
Yep.
And they were only giving dentists from other countries a few credits.
Yeah, they had
and
to do the whole thing over
That
again.
blows.
That's
You
exactly
have
her
to,
college
because
isn't
you
good
don't know
enough.
what.
I'm
You
telling.
don't know what they're teaching over there in their colleges, and you got to have them.
I guarantee.
Maybe they're better.
I bet they're better, and they come over here and they just waltz through our courses.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, this might be really easy for you, but you got to pay us $100,000. Thank
Exactly.
you very much.
Yep.
I think it depends on the country for sure. Like
Yeah.
China,
Yeah.
the Asian countries, they're probably more than some of like the third world-ish countries that, have a few universities.
Yeah. I
But
think
Canada, I wouldn't
I don't know
be
nothing
able to
about
tell
Canada.
you one university in Canada.
And I was thinking, okay, so I could name like at least 2, Cambridge and Oxford from England, all the way over in England.
Mm-hmm.
But our next door neighbor, Canada, I couldn't name you one university.
They don't go to school.
Why do they don't go to school?
I like Canada. I've been there a few times.
We loved it when we went. But we didn't see much of it because we were just in and out. But the people were really cool. The people were really nice. I think it's going.
27 teams in Canadian universities are divided into 4 athletic conferences. They're called U Sports.
Man,
We got like 120 Division I football teams.
Take that, Canada.
I think it's kind of cool that they're, so good at hockey and they really pride themselves on that, which is.
Yeah, I mean, they turn out a lot of good hockey players.
If all you got
Yeah.
hockey,
Yeah.
though, you got to win that Stanley Cup every year.
Yeah.
Right? All your best athletes
Best
are
at,
in
yeah, right.
hockey. And they still can't.
I mean,
Of course,
half the players, well,
A lot of ours are Canadian and Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Canadian teams like what is there? Montreal, Calgary, Quebec. They got 3 or 4 NHL teams, but their players also go here. So I guess it would just be the Canadian national.
I
team.
want to see Gronk and LeBron James playing in the NHL.
Why?
Would
To get humbled?
They got some big guys. They got some 6'8" guys in the
Really?
NHL.
Yeah.
Yeah, on defense, they got some monsters.
I was watching it the other day, and this guy skated by, and they said he was 5'8", 145 pounds. I'm like, what? How could you just not get crushed?
They're not. I always
think they
thought
do.
hockey players were just all big guys, but they're not. They just look big because they're all on skates. They're all on 6-inch.
There's a lot of big
High
hockey
heels.
players, but
Yeah,
they
they are.
got. But there's definitely some of the little water bug guys who are quick, like Trace. That would have been your sport.
Yeah,
you're-
except I
because
can't skate.
Oh,
Like,
I'm saying
If
if
you
you
learn at a young
if you
age,
grew
it's
up in
not that-
in the north,
What's the blonde guy on
Steven Stamkos.
Stamkos.
I'm gonna see how big he is.
I try and play hockey, but I can't skate, so I go up
Yeah.
every once in a while with
Makes it
Lauren's
hard.
cousin, and they're all just skating the puck around me, and I go in, and I'm in there for like 3 minutes. I'm like, help me, like, please help me, I'm dying.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It doesn't seem like, because I played soccer, and I'm like, oh, I'll just go out here and be same thing. So much more running. And with the offsides deal where you have to run back and get on sides before you can, too much running for me.
You had to roller hockey at some point. Play any roller hockey?
No, I'm talking. These are the people are all playing roller hockey, and I'm out there.
Yeah.
with no skates.
Right, my soles of my shoes are falling
Oh
off.
my god.
Do they all look down on you?
There's like 1 or 2 other guys that are out there on their feet, but they're older guys that play defense and don't do much running.
I played a lot of roller hockey. I mean, back, when we were growing up, we did all outdoor stuff. And since not like here, we didn't have woods in our backyard. So we'd be in the street playing roller hockey and, like every day.
I played a little bit, but we were never still on my feet. My mom actually took me to buy some roller skates one time, and it's the only thing my mom's ever like offered to buy me, and I was all hyped about. What? No, I didn't finish it yet. It was the only thing she offered to buy me that when I went in there into the Sports Authority and put them on and was like, "Here I go," and I was like, I was like, never mind, Mom. Don't buy me. I don't even want them anymore.
He could be a professional rollerblader right now if you just tried it out.
No.
Stamkos is 6'1", so he's probably 6 feet.
Yeah.
Can you see how big Hedman is?
Victor?
Yeah, Victor Hedman.
I knew his name.
I'm trying to think of a small hockey player.
What's the Martin's?
Martin St. Louis.
Yeah.
He could
6'6". Victor Hedman 6'6".
I would have thought
Martin St. Louis. We're just gonna Google hockey player heights all morning. I'm saying.
What was that guy?
5'10".
We went to school with his daughter. What was it? What was his name?
Andrew. He was a big dude.
He was
Yeah.
He was
gigantic.
like a mountain of a man.
Anderchuk. Yeah, that's right.
5'8".
5'8". Which means he's 5'7".
Yeah.
I wonder how tall Jerry is. Like I've never like I've always just gone by what he says. Like he could be 6'1", but
let's hold him down. Hold him down and measure him next
I'm
time he comes over.
6'3.5", you know. Who knows?
He's pretty tall. I'd say 6'2" at least, right?
Yeah, at least 6'2".
He kind of like hunches though, so to see him like stand straight up, I would think like a 6'1" or 2". Yeah.
I've seen a few of these videos. This is allegedly. See, you can't believe anything you see nowadays. This is on the internet, so it could be completely false. This is birds before the Turkey earthquake. So I've seen several dogs going crazy, birds going crazy.
Oh, that looks like debris.
No, it doesn't look like it, but it's birds. You can tell. See them flapping their wings.
I mean, like I say all the time, how people, you know, I think people could be one of the dumber animals on the planet, and we got all this computers and technology, and we're still just standing there like, what the birds doing in the earthquake comes and fucking kills us. Look at them birds. They're scared of something. I'm going to go in this 12-story building and sit on the bottom floor, but
get a better look. I'm going to get on top of the building and get a better look at these birds.
We've
It's
lost
like they know something.
Something bad going to happen.
We've lost all our instincts.
Yeah, we have zero instincts.
Mm-hmm.
When you said the Turkey earthquake, I was looking up there. I was like, oh, look at all them turkeys just flying around.
That's a bad scene. See,
Who's
like,
taking that picture?
Yeah.
like this is like, can you imagine this?
No. Ooh, that looks.
So can you imagine being stuck like that?
No.
She's lucky her head isn't crushed.
Yeah. Stuck like
this
that.
isn't Turkey. She just crawled in.
Yeah, this is all fake. This is all fake.
Under an
all these
overpass.
pictures are fake. Everything's fake. You can't believe anything anymore.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Is the boy dead?
He
It-
looks
know, he
like
looks dead.
turned into a doll. He's got the glassy eyes.
Oh, have you seen that AI art that they're doing now? Like, that looks just like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so creepy.
AI everything. AI everything.
Oh, what? Is that an arm? Maybe we should.
There was a couple
Oh.
that I've seen
That's
that
dead-
was
that's
like a
dead.
leg sticking
Yeah.
out. And I mean, they've been rescuing people. Some, they've been pulling people out. The hospitals are.
Did they get
Cool.
big waves when there's an earthquake?
Yeah, where does it?
This is this is. I don't know if I believe this either. This is this guy says there was a tsunami after the earthquake that killed 2,000 people.
Where?
I didn't hear nothing about this.
Where would that
Me
be?
neither.
Though?
Off the hit the coast of Turkey.
It wouldn't hit the coast of Turkey, though, right? Don't they get sent to the opposite side?
I didn't even know if Turkey had a coast. I thought Turkey was.
Yeah,
have to
we're
get the
watching
map.
this,
Have
and
to
there's
get the
not
map.
even an ocean in Turkey.
Everybody's scamming everybody with the fake videos, I think.
Are they speaking like Chinese?
It's probably because it's probably not Turkey. It's probably a fake video.
Oh, Turkey has water on all three sides.
Does it?
It's an island. We're like, we don't even know if they got a coast.
This says at least 5 dead. Oh, wait. Never mind.
Wow, man, that's pretty powerful. Jesus.
Oh man, being on there, I'd be terrified. Look at these stupid people videotaping it. Like you could have.
I mean,
they could have got pretty much further away.
all those, whatever the structures they were immediately underwater, just right over the top of them. Yeah, I don't think you got away from that unless you were already on the ground floor in a car.
You think they make any money when they take these like ballsy videos?
I don't think. I mean, you can make $6-7 off it, maybe. I don't know.
Used to be you could make a lot of money with that. You could go to the news and say, "I got a video of the tsunami," and they give you $10,000. But now every 1,000 other people put it on the internet because they just wanted free likes. We get some likes with this video, so nobody's making any money doing that anymore.
This says the tsunami alert in Italy.
Yeah.
There is one, or
there was. Italy withdraws their tsunami warning after Turkey's earthquake. Because when the earthquake happens, it usually gets sent to the other side, like opposite.
Yeah, I would think. Man, it's like, of course, I see. It's so hard. Like you have to disclaim everything, but I'm seeing nothing but these collapsing videos. But they could be from anywhere. Could be a controlled demolition.
It's like wintertime, though.
I think that's
that
real.
Sounded
I think
so
that's
fake.
Real. That sounded real to me.
Oh, I thought it sounded like everyone in the car
know.
was like, "All right, and when we're gonna drive past this, we're all gonna scream."
It does kind of sound like going down a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, I imagine. Is it cold like this right now over there?
Yeah, they said it happened in the middle of the night when it was cold and rainy, so everybody's.
That sucks because all these people are having. I imagine they're out sleeping in the streets, right? Nobody would sleep in a building right now, would they?
Maybe one story or two.
Maybe if you're freezing to death.
Yeah, you probably would, but not a big building like that.
No.
I can't imagine you'd stay in the. There's no way I would. I would sleep in the freezing cold. And I hate the cold. So it's just nothing but.
Maybe cars. Maybe they're sleeping in cars. I mean, that's a lot of people displaced.
I was still in there because I didn't wake up from the original earthquake.
Those race guys, they're trying to rescue him from the rubble, and he's like, "Come on, come back later."
Already collapsed.
I wonder how much money we're gonna be obligated to send for this catastrophe.
That's why I said, why are we obligated to do anything? Why do we have to do?
Why we gotta help the other countries?
Well, there's a lot of countries around them.
Yeah.
Why aren't they helping them?
Well, I think they are.
I don't get it.
I think they are.
I mean, I get like sending the Red Cross or something that's like international, but like to just send relief effort.
Let's send them $1 billion, and they don't really, and it doesn't really help because none of the billion ever really makes it to anybody that needs it.
Nobody in Turkey's getting that money. It's all getting stolen, just like it was in Haiti.
And for the next 6 months, all we're gonna hear is, send to the relief effort and this and this.
I mean,
Turkey strong.
If we gave Turkey $1 billion, like I don't know if $100 would make it to Turkey. Like, but so we, say $1 billion, and then we'd give them,
we'd steal
100 million.
Plus, in 10 years, you'd finally hear that, that they still never cleaned that up all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And
never did.
People
nothing.
are still hurting, and it's like really follow one family and see if they get any money.
That's really.
They don't.
I mean, just devastated it, like the entire city. Mm-hmm. Like your whole city is gone. What do you do?
Move to America.
Yeah, I keep reminding me of that.
Is Turkey a large country when you guys were looking at the map?
It looked decent size. I mean, it's bigger than like Italy.
I gotta Google Turkey now.
It's pretty decent size.
It's over there by what?
Right next to Iran, Iraq.
Turkey map.
Now, how much of Turkey did it affect? Did it affect like the whole turkey?
I'm asking what size is turkey? What size turkey will fit in my oven?
So this is like that's Africa. So here's Turkey.
Turkey has a population of 83 million people.
A lot of people.
Well, that's where Greece is. Why did I think Greece was up by?
Where'd you think Greece was? Up here by the United Kingdom?
Like-
You're off on your map
Like where
studies.
Denmark was.
Up
I don't
here
know
in the
why.
cold? No. Greece is a Mediterranean paradise.
I know, but for some reason, I just don't know why I thought it was that.
You ever seen,
Bulgaria.
ever seen some of the pictures of the ocean around Greece?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
I mean, Israel's right over there. Why don't they help them? They have all the money, don't they?
I'm sure all the countries around there will help them, and their money will get stolen as well.
I think I'm getting better at maps and globes, man.
Getting better at maps.
All
maps
the
and
kids always
globes.
we would play globe. That's the game, and
Play
we just
globe.
talk about the globe and look at different countries.
Well, that's good.
Turkey's got a lot of coastline, man.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that. We're ignorant over here in America. I kind of knew where it was.
I feel like my kids would know a lot more about a globe than the average kid.
Do you think they know more than you about the globe?
No, I'm
That's
pretty
possible,
fluent.
it's possible.
I'm globe fluent.
Trace is a geography expert.
What city was that in?
Do not know.
You know, the city in Turkey.
I don't think it was like the capital or anything. It was over down by Syria, because Syria felt the quake as well. Wonder if they're going to get any aftershocks today. That would suck, man. You imagine go through all that, and then the next day, here's another 7.0.
That would suck.
It would suck.
Man, I had to call John the other day in the morning. I was just so confused. I stayed the night at a hotel the other day, and I believe Saturday. And Sunday at 8:30, I get a text from John, like, you want to go get breakfast? And I'm just like, what is... I was like, his phone got stolen, and some guys are trying to kill me.
Meet you for breakfast and kill you.
Yeah, I was just up in the area.
Did you go to breakfast with John?
Yeah.
No, we did.
Well, we chilled out for a little bit, and then we went to more of a lunch at the Crate place.
Where'd you go to lunch there?
Yeah.
I don't know. I got some shitty fries.
Doesn't even know.
Doesn't even know.
I went to the Venezuelan restaurant there. It was really good.
Oh, man, it was really good. I was almost upset I didn't get the Venezuelan food. I got a shitty thing of fries, loaded fries.
They have all sorts of restaurants
Yeah.
there. There's like a couple. There's a Jamaican restaurant, a Peruvian restaurant. There's a couple French restaurants. Yeah, it looks
Hawaiian noodle restaurant.
Yeah, you got to find the cheap stuff, though. You got to go. The place can get a little bit expensive.
I would imagine, especially now. Here's the latest craze on TikTok. It's the extreme sport of death diving.
Yeah.
Where you belly flop from incredible heights.
Ruin it.
It's so hard. It's so hard to belly flop.
Got it. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Sunday!
Oh, I'd love to do that.
Jesus.
Other than the belly flop, that looks like a great time.
Oh, you could
Oh,
knock
no.
the wind out of yourself, and you're in the water.
No.
Yeah, that was a poor belly
They
flop.
both he chickened out.
chickened
man.
out.
He totally chickened out.
It's almost
Boo.
impossible not to.
She
Like
didn't-
It probably still hurt though.
She didn't chicken out.
Sunday!
Oh my God, she's dead.
She popped right up. Look at this guy, and he's like,
That is
oh,
so-
not right. He's like, goes into a cannonball at the last second.
Yeah.
So high up.
She's at 81 feet. That's how high she
Oh
was.
my
81
God.
feet.
No way.
Wouldn't affect her too much, but I
There she
wonder if
goes
the
again.
breasts make it less of an impact.
I don't know.
No.
No.
Rip your tits off.
I don't even get it. It's just, people being stupid.
I swear, I don't know
Just
how they could
stupid.
do that. I went at Wikiwachi, I climbed up, I say I was like 50, 60 feet in the air, but I was probably 30 feet in the air.
Yeah.
It felt
Yeah.
like I was way up there. Might have been 40, and I hung from a branch and dropped down. And like blistered my feet, and water went up my butthole. Like what? It was not fun at all.
That's just from there,
right? And I didn't belly flop it. If I belly flopped, I would have broke every bone in my face.
Yeah, how do you not get water just like into your eye sockets?
I think if you commit suicide off the Skyway, I think that water goes right at you, just blows out all your organs.
Is belly flop once you hit a certain speed? Is that better than hitting normal? I couldn't imagine.
You shattered a million pieces. I think when you hit that water and a belly flop off the Skyway.
I used to hear people would get ripped in half if their legs aren't.
Spread your legs and jump off the Skyway. You'd get ripped in half.
Probably. I mean, it would seem like, if you went feet first, you would just get an enema from your butthole out your mouth.
I don't think you can clench your cheeks that tight.
I mean, she got a lot of views, but if that doesn't translate to money, then I'm not doing it. But if I did it,
I can't.
I would do that just for fun, but not the belly flop.
Well,
part.
yeah, I mean,
you would jump 81 feet.
Yeah, if I knew it was
not that bad.
Like if I wasn't gonna die from like hitting some shallow water, I would do that for sure.
I'd do a backflip.
No way.
No way. I don't like heights. There's no way I'm doing.
How would you do that, Trace? You don't like heights either.
I'm not afraid of heights over water, except like the Skyway. Once you get in a certain.
If it's too high.
Well, I mean, on the Skyway, I'm always like terrified of driving, like getting in an accident and falling off.
Oh my God,
that's got to be the worst couple seconds, and then there's no way you're surviving, right? That's
maybe
worse
if you're
than
in a
just
Tesla.
That's worse than just jumping off, right? If you're in a
Yeah,
car and you're going down, once the car hits like that, I think you're just getting a blob into the seat. You turn into like a mush.
Did one guy survive that? Remember when the Skyway collapsed?
That's what I was just thinking.
Skyway Bridge and a bunch, like a bus fell down. A bunch of, like 20 or 30 people died. I was thinking they rescued one guy, but I can't remember.
I feel like they did, but I can't remember.
I thought part of that was though they were just on like the bridge part that didn't go up yet, or they were right at the beginning.
It would have to be the highest part because they couldn't see it unless there was like a fog or something.
It was up at the high part because that's where the bridge, the ship hit the middle part because that's where it goes under. It hit. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's why now they've got those massive circular concrete things so that a ship will crash into those before it crashes.
A little late for that, but
well, that's it. I thought of that now.
Wesley McIntyre.
He survived the Skyway Bridge collapse.
His Ford pickup truck fell onto the ship before it entered the water, allowing him to escape his vehicle and swim to the surface.
Good for Ford.
That's crazy. That's
He was
crazy.
the only survivor.
He landed.
Can you imagine?
He landed on the ship and had a few cocktails and kicked back.
Do you think that would just obliterate you if you landed on a ship from?
Well, if it was tall enough to hit the bridge, it was tall enough to catch a truck from not too far down. Maybe.
Well, it didn't hit the top of the bridge. It hit like one of the main supports.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would think you'd be more safe if you were falling in a car. I mean, not hitting the bridge. That'd probably be equally as bad.
Yeah.
But if you were gonna hit the water, I would rather be in a car than just free, open.
I don't think so, man. I think that
I don't know.
Like you hit it with your toes first and your feet first. I think you got a chance of living, but. Just going from 200 miles to 0 when that car hits, I think it's going to just destroy you. I think you turn into a mush.
I think either way.
I wonder if it's like the same, how drunk drivers survive because their body's limp and limber.
Yeah.
If you get knocked out and you fall into the water from that high up, are you...
You're getting double knocked out and then drowning.
It's true. I don't know. I think it might be. If you're drunk, you might have a better chance of surviving.
I don't know.
We talk
200 feet like this. And I think
yeah,
it's
but
still
you
gonna
also
smack.
say that. You also would say that I don't think being drunk is going to save you from a 50-mile-an-hour car crash, and it does.
It does a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Drunks are always living.
What if you squirrel suited off? Do you think you squirrel suit off and be fine?
You'd have to
Maybe.
be
How
real.
do you land in a squirrel suit? You got a parachute.
Yeah, Trace.
Yeah.
Nobody.
You gotta.
You chest out, buddy. Chest out.
No
And
such-
then just right before you hit, you kind of go up like a little like a plane,
Like a
little
skimmer
paper
bird.
plane.
Are you gonna sully it and just land like that on the water?
Yes. Chest out. Like I said.
You'd be like Trace is
Using my
he
feet as
thinks
rudders.
He thinks he's gonna come in for a soft landing. This gets obliterated.
I was like, look at this guy. He's pretending like
Just
this
graze
guy
in the
thinks
water.
He has a squirrel suit on. He just has a hoodie on. What is this guy doing?
I use my hoodie as a parachute.
Have you ever wanted to skydive?
We talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
Just never.
Nah.
Like, I'm not afraid of skydiving. I have no feelings on it besides, I don't really care to go.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's the
why.
same.
He's too lazy to skydive. That's what it is.
But not too lazy to squirrel suit off the skydive,
Skyway.
the skyway,
Yeah.
and land.
I mean,
That sounds fun, If somebody did it before me and I knew how to squirrel suit, I'd do it.
That's what I don't get is how do you learn to squirrel suit jump?
Right?
How do you learn to base jump?
you probably practice doing it out of an airplane.
Yeah.
With a
whatever.
parachute or something?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
You always have a
You always have a
parachute.
parachute. That's the only way you
Oh,
get down
yeah,
from
yeah.
the squirrel
Except for
suit.
one guy.
The guy that died.
No, one guy landed in a bunch of boxes with a squirrel suit.
Bunch of box.
Gotta have a bunch of boxes.
Yeah, they
Okay.
piled up like 2-story high boxes, and he came down and landed in it. To
Was
be the
he
first
like, were
guy
they-
to.
Did he mean to do that, or he was mid-flight? Like, I forgot my parachute. And they're like,
Oh,
quick,
look
get
at
the
those
boxes.
boxes.
Hit the boxes.
No. It
It
was
does look like-
planned. He was trying to be the first person to ever jump out of a plane
What a
without a
psychopath.
parachute.
That's some ballsy shit right there. Why not a foam pit?
Looks like it'd be amazing to do that squirrel suit.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
it
Yeah.
just looks like it's because you're actually flying.
You're
You're just
flying.
flying. It's as close to flying I
Right?
think as you can get.
Don't strap me to some guy's dick with a parachute on.
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I'll pass on that tandem jump stuff.
That I saw this thing. I think it was a Twitch convention, and they had that foam pit that.
Yeah, I didn't talk
was-
about that because we're on Twitch.
Yeah, never mind.
Where the girl messed her back up.
Yeah.
Bad.
They're real geniuses who set that up. It looked like
Yeah,
a.
like a 2-foot foam pit or
Yeah,
something.
less. It was just a couple foam blocks on a big hard floor.
Broke her back, man.
Somebody broke their leg. It was their knee or some shit. It was great.
Where was
brutal.
it that we used to go? I remember going one time for someone's birthday, and they had the zip line and the foam pit and the
It was like the YMCA, I
trampolines.
think.
Zip line and a foam
They had a little zip line, and you'd hit the
What's it?
wall
It's like a
and fall into this foam pit.
It was the YMCA. I told you what it was.
YMCA. I
Never
don't,
went
I
to
don't
the
It was Aaron's
YMCA.
birthday.
It was
and
Aaron's
we went to like
birthday.
the YMCA.
Okay.
Or
Isn't
something.
it a gym? I thought it was like a,
Could have been a gym.
gymnastics place.
Maybe.
I
I
thought
don't know.
gymnastics.
Yeah,
Oh, it
something
was a
like-
gymnastics.
I remember
You're
that.
right.
Yeah.
And
I
we
thought
had-
that
they
was the
had the big-
YMCA.
The big colorful sheet that you all get under the bubble.
Yeah.
That was.
That
was a good
sounds
time.
YMCA-ish.
I feel like that would be a real fun party now if you go there as an adult and you have cocktails and y'all get to jump in the foam pit.
Oh, you're
Everybody's getting
They ain't letting-
broken legs.
Broken legs.
They're not letting
dislocated
adults
knees.
drink and do gymnastics
God dang
in
it!
their building.
I mean, I can't go to the flying squirrel with the girls without getting hurt, and they'll run around jumping for like an hour, 2 hours, and like the first second I decide to like jump one time, I'm like, I don't want this.
In Ecuador, there's all these like crazy like zip line and bungee jumping like parks in Ecuador and in Colombia, and they're the sketchiest like setups. But they'll be up in the mountains, and everything will be painted colorful, so it doesn't look like a rusty piece of crap. But it's the most like ragtag setup, and you're bungee jumping over like a huge canyon.
Oh my
Touch that zip
God.
line, the paint's still away.
Yeah.
Did you do it?
I didn't do some of them, but there's like some of them they'll take you across like in a gondola type setup. I'd do those. over like waterfalls and things like that. But there is some that like just straight one cord bungee jump. Oh shit! From bungee jumping from like it was sketchy as hell.
I don't understand the bungee jumping. How does people's legs not come out of the socket? Like, how does that even work?
Because it's a slow stretch. It's not like you don't get yanked.
I feel like
you're still yanked a little.
I feel like you get real yanked.
Yeah. I mean, if you die bungee jumping in Colombia, I don't think even your family ends up knowing what happened to you.
Right.
They just throw you out back in the dumpster and continue on.
I'm not trusting somebody with that. I remember Jason Dixon, who used to work with me at the Power Pig, we did it for a stunt at Busch Gardens, so it was a legit place. And he did it over this water, and when he was done, he's like, yeah, I went so far down, my head hit the water. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it.
Oh, yeah, you
I don't
get
trust
a
these
real
people.
dunk in the water.
I don't trust parasailers.
No.
I don't trust any of these. Like, I'd go on a tandem jump, and the guy would, that's the day he decided to kill himself. And you're like, pull the cord. And he's like, no, we're dying today, son.
I mean, the zipper at the fair, like, if you ride that, you might as well ride anything out. You might as well go bungee jumping, man.
Like death-defying.
I mean, they must have taken spray paint to it, too, because it sounds so rickety. It's like... It's like if the shitty gate they shut,
that opens.
If the crackhead who goes, man, shut, if he was wrong, like, you die. Like,
because you go straight forward.
That is a wild ride. That was my favorite, though, back in the day. I don't know if I could go on it, though.
I think my zipper days are over.
I mean, it's like some crackhead that just, like, slams it shut 100, and he does that 1,000 times a day. As long as you got to get it right.
I heard the click. I think I heard the click.
And it's like... They don't even, people throw up in those. Yes. They don't really even clean them.
They spray them out, and then all the water,
and then the water drips
on
everybody.
It's the best ride, though, in the whole fair is the zipper. It's because you feel like you're going to die.
It really is.
I just scream the whole time. I'm going to die.
Because you're close to death. It's the closest you've ever been to death.
That's the thing that shoots you up, and you're, like, attached by cables on the side.
No.
This is a ride. You're in a cage.
You're in a cage.
It spins as it spins.
It's got a bunch of cars and it spins and it goes around the track.
I think there's 3 spins. I think the whole thing is moving. I think that's got a belt that moves
it's
on
a
there,
triple
and then
move.
It's a triple spinner.
Yeah, it's crazy how much responsibility we put on those carnies.
I know.
You don't really hear that many deaths either. You think you hear about it every week.
Because they move out of town. You die and they're like, we got to get the fuck out of here.
On to the next town. I mean, the fact that they ship those same machines across the country
on the back of a semi,
and then assemble them in a day.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, the fair. I mean, they generate so much money. They can't pay to have normal people.
Well, you gotta understand that people that are carnies,
they
travel the whole United States, so you can't like have like a family or care about anything or have a family
or care about anything.
You're probably on the run from the law, most of them.
Oh man, I mean
a lot of the carnivals, they're owned by certain people. Berlin, you went to school with a girl that her family owned the carnival rides.
Yeah.
Like at the Florida State Fair and all that. But they got to travel. They have certain people that they travel with. But when they get to these places, they have to hire, people to come in and help. So they, a lot of them travel with the same fair company.
Yeah.
But like the ticket taker is probably a local.
Yeah.
Local yokel or something.
They probably get some people to do different things that they
So
hire.
do carnies,
You ever put a zipper together? All right, you're hired.
Yeah, I mean, they might be.
You got a monkey wrench? Yeah, you're hired.
Bring your own monkey wrench.
Do you think they're making a decent wage, and they're just those kind of people though because they have to travel, or
And they're the kind of people that spend every penny they have because they don't look like they got a penny to
I
their name.
know,
and they
my
don't, and they don't have
God.
all
Do you
their
think
teeth.
they
and-
have their own drug dealer
That's
that
what I was
comes
just
along
thinking.
with them?
That's what I was just
Their
thinking.
traveling drug dealer.
You don't want to
'cause
have to
that
track
would
down the
suck
drugs.
every time.
Yeah.
Where
are we
we
get-
got some crack? Like, that's not
I'm
fun.
sure there's the dealers that know the second the fair comes into town, they all flock to the fairgrounds.
That's what it is.
It's
Guy's got his-
unsettling. That was our first thought.
He's got his meth booth set up before they get there.
Right, the first, it's like the Chick-fil-A or whatever, where people wait in lines for days. Like the drug dealers are just in line 2 days before they open, trying to get into out of the carnies.
I like to picture them as like the drug dealer, but as a carnival gamer, like, hey, you want to come down?
Look on YouTube. Look up Mike.
I know. I just had to write something down.
Oh.
What is it?
Look up father/son first zipper ride.
YouTube. Oh,
Snake Farm.
State Farm. Did you say-
/son
First zipper ride.
zipper.
Look up and see where
All right.
that one. I can't.
Right now.
I was watching
It's
it
terrifying.
with no sound, so I don't know if it was good. But
Where do you want me to start from? When they're on the ride?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially because you're
Well,
like
you can
here's
show
standing.
the zipper,
Here's
so
the
people
Look
know
at
what
that.
the
There's
zipper
the
is.
zipper. God, I love
I mean,
the
you're
zipper.
basically standing. It's not
Share
a
it.
sitting thing.
That's a nice zipper.
Yeah, they
there.
know that's
a
this is
real
the best zipper they ever built.
Share. Fancy
High
zipper.
quality
Share.
zipper.
That's
Or
a
they
nice-
just
that's a
spray painted
nice
this
zipper.
today. Spray painted it today.
Oh, look at this ride. Look at dangling. Forget that shit.
No way.
That's a nice
I
zipper.
mean, I've tried to ride on that one right there. You know, the big one
and
behind it.
Look there, the carney's he's clanging them in. He's clanging them in. What'd you say?
I went to try and ride on that big one with the. You see it just
This
right
one?
there,
Yeah.
and like I'm sitting in line, and you know the people are actually stuck at the top, and the guy's back there on this big semi thing, just beating on it with his hand, just trying to get it to turn back on, and I'm like, you know, maybe tomorrow, like maybe once they get these kinks figured out, I'll get on it.
Have you ever been on an amusement ride and then all of a sudden the guy he starts scaling it?
Yeah.
And then he starts hammering something. I've actually seen, I've been like, oh my God, what is going on?
I mean, I think I've been there on a smaller ride when the guy was like, "Does anybody know anything about electricity?"
Yeah, we just shaved his head so it'll go super fast.
Oh
Yeah,
God!
I think I'll just forward it. The death ride. All right, let's
This
get
is a fancy
I'm
fair.
for
I
it.
never been to a fair this fancy where everything looks clean.
That kid was all about it, standing in line.
Here we go. Whoa! Whoa! It's okay. It's okay. Hold on tight. Open your eyes. Look out.
This is a video of me on the zipper.
But I'd feel so much safer if that bar that goes
Yeah.
across your lap wasn't attached to the door. It really seems to be the biggest flaw that you're holding on to this, shittily closed
You're
door.
shaking the door the whole time, like open it,
And the latch is just like barely holding that pin in there.
It's a design flaw. You're pushing on that door the whole time. You're like,
Yeah, we're almost done. Look at outside. Look at Just look outside. Whoa! Look at Hi, buddy. Look at It's okay. Breathe. Watch. That was so good, dude. Uh-oh, we're going backwards.
Oh, the dad's loving this.
Okay.
Just look at the way
it's
they're
a long ass ride.
It is.
They give you your money's worth on the zipper.
No.
I love you, buddy.
buddy. That's so good. I love you.
Poor kid.
He's never gonna forget this.
Oh my gosh, let's go to the
Go to the end when he
very
gets
end.
out.
Hey, someone grab those tickets? Dude. Oh, you did it.
Oh, that dad just thinks it's
Is he on the
hilarious.
ground?
Hey,
He's
someone grab
crying.
those tickets?
Those tickets?
No. Someone grab them, man.
Oh. So yeah, that sounds about right. You get off the ride and the carnies
Somebody-
all went through your shit.
somebody
And
else
stuff.
took all your shit,
Everything
man.
that fell out, they already got it.
What are you talking about? Oh, no.
What ticket? I didn't see any
They
tickets.
hit the start button. They grab their net and stand up.
Yeah. I didn't see a phone. I didn't see any necklace. I know.
I'll pretend look under the ride for you though.
All right, we got to take a break. We've been going long here. Good time for Scotty Farrell's Super Himalaya. I said Scotty Farrell's Super Himalaya.
Shake it up, Scotty Farrell here, and welcome to the Super Himalaya, the most iconic ride in Midway history. I ripped it out, another round of shots. Turn down for what? Please remain seated. Turn down for what? That's right, remain seated while a random carny with one eye turned down for what? That's right, a random carny was only here because he cut off his ankle bracelet. Turned down for what? That's right, please remain seated while he locks your safety restraint in place. Never mind the fact that Connor Penn has been replaced by a used corn dog stick. It's time to get this party started. I'm doing lines to blow out the control panel. I just did a body shot of Jose Cuervo with the bearded lady. And now I gotta ask you thrill seekers if you wanna go faster. Of course you wanna go faster. I just asked my heart the same question and it said, fuck no, I'm about to explode. Well, tough shit heart, cause I just did another rail of cocaine and I'm snowblind. Fire it loud, another round of shots. Shake it up. Turn down for what? I'm coked out of my mind. I'm pressing buttons. I'm pushing levers. I'm cross-eyed. I'm drunk. I just traded a giant stuffed giraffe for a crack rock. And I feel like either doing a swan dive off the Ferris wheel or playing some Tesla modern day cowboy. Cause Scotty Farrell's a modern day cowboy. Shake it up. I got a 10-gallon hat filled with Molly. I'm playing Russian roulette with my sex shooter. I got a female carny from the elephant ear booth dressed up like a can-can girl with her toothless head in my lap. And I don't know about you, but that makes me want to go backwards and listen to some AC/DC. It's Scotty Farrell, shake it up on the Super Himalaya, spinning you around with 8 G's of centrifugal force. Shake it up. Believe it or not, I took 34C on the Super Himalaya after hours last night, and the G-force had her pinned against the side of the car, and she was helpless against Scotty Farrell's advances. I pulled off her shirt, grabbed your boobies, I took off my pants, I pulled a Donald Trump, I grabbed her by the pig, bada bang, bada boom, It's the Super Himalaya, a ride that only 12 hours ago was on the back of a semi-tractor trailer before being hastily assembled by a team of carnies using rubber mallets and a rusty monkey wrench, only taking a break to check on their meth lab. It's Van Halen, it's Scotty Farrell, it's the Super Himalaya, the most coked out, methed out, drunk out of its mind ride on the Midway. I'm eating deep fried sandy bars. I dropped acid with Tom Thumb. My heart stopped 5 minutes ago. Get the defibrillators. Give me a D5W with Ringer's lactate. Clear, clear. I see the white light. Shake it up, running with the devil. Only on the Super Himalaya with Scotty Farrell. Shake it up, I call 911, please.
You gotta stand up for Motley Crue. Gotta stand up for Motley Crue.
Friday night and her pants are tight. It's hard to hold in all that cellulite. I buy her fries and a diet Sprite, but that just whets her appetite. I love big fat girls. So fat their pants won't zip. Big fat girls. Nacho cheese on her upper lip. I love big fat girls. Thick legs, pants are ripped. Fat cheeks, big fat feet. Can't fill her up with a side of beef. Chubby girls, they just can't be beat. Too fat to fit in my fucking Jeep. I love big fat girls. Have to weigh her on the trucker scales. Big fat girls. She never eats salad, she never eats kale. Big fat girls. At the beach like a big fucking whale. Big, she's so huge. Triply big boobs. Sometimes she will flatline. I have to start her hard. I take her to Popeyes, but she's not satisfied. Put on your tea bag and dance for me while I unzip my fly. You make me so horny, yeah, while you're eating that cheese. Big fat girl. Woo! Woo! She drops her drawers, I drop my pants. When she goes down, she asks for ranch. Won't cook a steak, yeah, she eats it raw. Stand back while I unhook her bra. Big fat girl. Cheese fries and pork chops. Big fat girls. She crushes me when she is on top. Big fat girl. Woo! Welcome back to ClusterF. Coming in at number 5 on the charts, Elon Musk with Don't Doubt Your Vibe. 'Cause it's true. Are you getting your bicep work out in there, Berlin, on your with that coffee mug?
I am.
It's the biggest coffee mug I've ever seen in my life. It weighs 8 pounds. We were talking about like jumping off of things and belly flopping and all that stuff. Here's would you go in this pool, Trace? I know you're not a huge fan of heights. This pool it's on top of a.
Oh my god! What the hell?
It goes over the street with a glass bottom.
No way!
Awesome.
I don't feel like anybody's smart enough to build one of these without thinking of all the. What happens if an earthquake happens? You fall right through the bottom
what
of
if
that.
it just is too heavy?
I mean, water is
It's a
so
lot of
heavy.
weight. It's a lot of weight.
No, I'm not trusting it.
Oh, I ain't
No
doing
way.
And then someone comes and jumps in, like
Nosedive.
like,
Sketchy.
"No."
Fat guy jumps in, hits the bottom.
Yeah.
Cracks it. I'll pass on this.
No thanks.
Where is that?
It's pretty cool, but I'll pass
Probably
on
Dubai or something.
No, thank you.
You get a similar experience with like the infinity pools where you don't actually have to be hanging over, but you get kind of the view and feel of it.
it. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that. I'm gonna pass on that one.
What is hold?
I'm gonna see where that is. That is the Sky Pool is a swimming pool in Houston, Texas.
Texas.
Constructed on top of the Market Square Tower. It's 150 meter high with a glass floor.
John's too good for this. He'll just relax in his infinity pool.
Yeah. Not me. Not doing it for sure.
I couldn't. That's still the same. I couldn't even come close to the edge of that.
No.
No. It would be weird feeling because it's like different than walking next to something like swimming. I don't know. That would be weird.
Crazy Horse USA just subscribed for 36 months. He says it should be 42. That's deep. Appreciate it.
Have you ever been in one of those kayaks that have the invisible bottom?
Yeah, but usually I've been in one, but I rented it from some place, and so many people had rented it that it was all scuffed up.
Scuffed
You can
up.
see shit.
Oh.
That'd be
I
cool.
could see that.
I could do that, but not the other. That's way too high.
Did anybody see Madonna on the Grammys?
No. Oh
was
my
that?
god!
It's like, what's wrong? What's wrong with people? Why do
Wait.
She
people
looks terrible.
look at that? See, they turn
She got
themselves
a lot
into.
of people. A lot of people saying she looked so
She's got like
unrecognizable.
cheek implants
Yeah.
and fat lips.
Turning
And,
into a snake person.
Ah.
It's like I don't know which is worse,
looking
growing old or looking like that.
Looking like that.
Looks
Growing
so
old just
terrible.
makes you look normal.
I mean, yeah, growing old, people just be like, "Oh, she's looking old, looking her age," or maybe she isn't aging well. I don't know.
Do you get? Are you
but like that, people
delusional?
are just like, "Oh, whoa."
Looks like what's the movie?
Jigsaw.
Jigsaw.
Yeah.
From
Oh my
Saw.
God, yes.
Saw.
That's
yeah.
exactly what it looked like. It looks like
I heard she's
trying to
starring
do
in the
that.
next Saw movie as the guy on the
It's
bicycle.
more terrifying because it's real.
oh my god.
Yeah, what's wrong with people?
You want to play a game?
And are you mentally ill? She looks in the mirror. Does she look in the mirror at that, and goes, "Oh my God, I'm killing it. I'm look so sexy and so hot." So you're mentally ill, I think, when you start doing that, like Michael Jackson.
What it seems to be addicting in some way, shape, or form.
That's
Like
those
it's like
people,
people get
yeah.
addicted
Yeah.
to it,
Like-
and it's like they don't. I don't even know if they know they're making themselves look worse, but they just can't stop.
I don't know.
They can't stop, and then every time they get it done and they think they're done, they're like, I could improve. I could improve. And then they just keep getting it.
People did keep. I saw some posts about. Is anybody watching the Grammys? People are like, "The what?" No.
Nobody watches award shows anymore.
Can you get that spider off the screen?
We're basically a science-based show. You know, the ClusterF.
Yeah,
we're
except
way,
for spiders.
We're way into science, and we know a lot about science.
Mm-hmm.
It says here the Tarantula xenethsis immanus keeps a small frog as a pet.
Oh.
to eat insects that eat the spider's eggs. In return, the frog receives protection in a so-called...
Oh, what a
That's
terrible
pretty
life,
good.
though.
For who?
For who?
The frog. Because, that spider gets hungry. He's not worried about protecting
I don't know.
his
I
eggs
think
anymore.
the frog knows he's not getting eaten by
What
it.
about when the eggs hatch? Are you the next meal?
No.
And when the eggs hatch, the frog eats insects that eat the spider's eggs, but when all them little spiders comes out, then that frog goes, look at all these
Yeah,
little
but there's 8 million eggs, and the spider mom is like, man.
Yeah. Did they sign a peace treaty?
Isn't that so
Isn't
bizarre?
isn't that bizarre, though, that the animals have that kind of relationship?
I mean, just like the birds with the cows, all the birds that sit on the hippopotamuses' heads, and
The fish that swim in the moray eel's teeth and clean them, and the moray eel's like, clean my teeth, and I'll let you live.
The remoras.
Yeah, on the sharks.
On the sharks.
And it's just...
Nature.
They don't talk to each other.
They just know.
They just do
They
it.
just
Does
know.
the remora?
Maybe
Does
they
the
do.
shark not care? Like, is it just on the shark's belly so it can't
The
eat 'em?
shark hates the remora. It goes, "Nah, I can't get to it. My fins don't reach." That's probably what it is. Remoras are just big freeloaders.
I've seen a lot of cases of like mother animals who've like adopt other species to kind of raise them until they're older.
That's weird too.
Well,
you wouldn't think that would happen,
right?
You would think they'd be like, just eat it.
Well, go to the story I sent you on Facebook, actually.
Everybody, whenever I go fishing, usually a lot of times, the only thing we'll catch is a couple more. We'll get in a remora patch, and like every time we catch the first remora, everybody's like, "Oh, that's so cool," and I'm even like, "Oh, that's cool," and like after the second one, we're like, "If we catch another fucking remora," because they're hard to get the hook out, and they're sucky.
They're sucky.
So, speaking about that kind of stuff, it was like
Which story is it?
Couple up. It's a dog. Ghost, the rescue dog, is recovering after living with a pack of coyotes for months in Nevada. The white dog was accepted into the coyote pack, but became injured, and that's when neighbors stepped in to save him. After months of running with the pack of coyotes, he will now be up for adoption. That's insane.
Ghost. White
It
dog
seems like
spotted
he
in
was out
coyote
there
pack.
for 7 or 8 months. Holy crap.
I still don't get the evolution of dogs. Like, they say dogs came from wolves.
Yeah.
Like, how do you breed a wolf into a pug?
How do you breed? What do you breed a wolf with to create anything other than a wolf if there are no dogs?
For 100,000 years, you pick the dog with the smallest dog with the
Yes.
flattest face.
I don't get
And you're
it.
like, find another flat-faced dog and we'll put them together.
Yes.
I don't make no sense.
I mean, it's like
it was a flat.
all documented. Not
Okay,
well,
like-
like they know that all dogs came from wolves. There's no, dogs out in the wild.
I'm just saying. Okay, so you're an ancient wolf hunter or whatever. You got a wolf, and you get a wolf, and then what do you mate it with to start the process of it becoming a dog?
What happens is the wolves come around humans,
Mm-hmm.
and then slowly you have a pack of wolves that just stay around the humans, and slowly their behaviors change a little bit over time, and then
But
they
they're-
start breeding with each other.
But
And
how does it physical characteristics change into a dog when if there's no dogs? How does a wolf become anything
And
other than a
then
dog?
when humans start taking over selective breeding, because only the friendliest dogs were the friendliest wolves were the ones that stayed around the humans, and that kept happening. And then selective breeding, they would breed the friendliest wolves with the
Yeah.
friendliest wolves, and
So
then
they're all friendly, but they're not dogs.
and then when you breed certain traits, personality traits, harbor weird physiological traits. I don't know how to explain it. They know that
It's supposed to be survival of fittest, but when you start breeding the bitch-ass dogs that weren't supposed to survive, weird things start to happen.
personality traits also are linked on the same genes as physical traits in some cases. So floppy ears are associated with friendly dogs, like their personalities. So it just kind of comes with the personality trait. And if you do that a bunch,
So if you go through enough wolves, you're gonna find a wolf with floppy ears.
no, but after having.
I get it.
They did it.
Well, I know they say they did it, but I don't understand.
And there's different breeds of wolves and coyotes, and
So they bred a wolf with a coyote, and then a coyote with a fox, and they got a chihuahua. Is that how they did it?
It's the wolves. Okay, the wolves you see in nature are the top wolves, the top of the top. But if you have wolves that are slowly become dependent on you, you could have a wolf that's really nice and easygoing, but you wouldn't see that in nature because it would have gotten
But
killed.
that wolf is still gonna be 130-pound wolf,
And
even
then
no matter how nice it is and how tame you get
and then in a wolf,
Tell him.
and then if a wolf has a litter of pups and one of them's really happens to be a little smaller than the others,
save the runts.
the
You breed
runts,
the runts.
Yeah,
you breed
the runts because otherwise the runts would die. That's why you
Yeah.
don't see them in nature. But if they're
it's
dependent.
Yeah, I guess it's a evolution of runt breeding.
Maybe it is.
Still, wouldn't you just have small wolves? How do you?
But after 1,000 years,
Yeah, and they get their deformed.
I know, but where do
runts
you get where do you get like a pit bull? How did you?
Then you go back, you turn it around and start breeding the strong ones again. See, it's kind of
Yeah.
not making sense.
Well, how do you? I mean, with other species, how do they make miniature horses or miniature?
I don't know.
Anything.
How do you? I mean, they'll
you
make
happen to breed
The smallest and the smallest and the smallest and the smallest.
and
thought-
then sometimes you get a
there-
freak mutation,
I mean,
and the wolf is a dwarf wolf, and let's breed that wolf with this.
Find
wolf.
another dwarf.
Let's breed that
breed them
mutation
dwarves.
tiny horse with the smallest horse we got.
Yeah,
I thought
is
small
that how they
horses
do
were
it?
like just another breed of horses.
I don't know the dwarf horses. I don't know. You ever seen a mini horse in the wild? Those things are definitely mutated.
now.
Yeah.
Now there's dwarfism in humans. Is there dwarfism in other animals? Like is there like a gorilla, a tiny little midget gorilla? Has that ever happened?
That would be crazy.
They probably would have been killed.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
But they'll
So they
even-
probably do have that.
They just don't make it.
But-
Survival of the
yeah.
fittest.
They'll
But
take
now,
the
and they phased
dwarves.
out those genes, so there's never going to be a midget gorilla
That's
because
true. There's not as many. Where we are, it's like, hey, let the midgets have sex.
Yeah.
You could say, where did all the midgets come from? Well, maybe if we took every midget and
But we
they
breed the
all
dwarves
just- we
sometimes,
just
and
bred
they
'em
come
and
out
bred
with a
'em.
regular human.
I don't
I've
get
seen
that. That's
Right?
crazy.
I guess we don't breed them; they choose to breed. But
I met somebody who
I bet they
spent
used to
their
breed.
life trying to make a smaller kind of bulldog, but never had any luck. Like never actually accomplished even a smaller line of them. Like I guess they probably in their whole life had a couple hundred dogs,
Jeez.
and not that maybe have had like 3 or 4 that were considered miniature, but
Man.
were not able to replicate.
what a terrible thing to base
What
your
a-
life
I
on!
know.
Like what a waste
What
of
a
your life.
What a waste of time.
I tried my whole life to make a smaller dog, but now I got
that wasn't
300
the
dogs.
purpose of her life, but it was like the goal, like trying to see if they could do it, but there was no luck in it, and
It's probably for the best because
Gotta make a tiny
Yeah.
dog.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what they do with the white tigers. That gene is a mutated
Yeah,
gene.
yeah.
the albino.
Yeah.
The white ones that
Yeah.
people love to pet. And they just breed and breed and breed till they get that one mutated white lion.
And just like the
Tiger,
ligers, those are the biggest cats on the planet.
Yeah,
You
it's a
breed-
lion and a tiger.
Yeah.
I don't get how that works.
I don't
but
either.
Yeah.
How did you make it bigger than anything?
How does it? Yeah. How's it bigger than
don't know.
both of them? Like
I saw once this I think it was an island where these lions lived, and all there was on the island to eat was water buffalo. So the lions ended up being way bigger than your average lion.
What kind of lion island are you talking about?
It's the truth. I'll tell you. Don't look it up. I'll prove you wrong.
Wasn't that supposedly like how giraffes evolved by like needing to get to the top of like so
They
their
just
necks
reached for
grew?
trees for years.
Isn't that how it supposedly happened? I mean, who knows,
It would
but
be like the
The tallest, but the animal with the longest, tallest neck would probably survive because it could get the food from the tall trees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then over time, those would survive, and it'd breed with the other ones that survived. And
what a goofy looking animal, though. Like, it just doesn't seem like it'd work.
You ever see the videos of them running?
Yeah.
It's so bizarre because they're like
they're
moving.
so top heavy.
They look like they're moving so slow, but they're moving so fast, but their bodies are like in slow motion. It's so bizarre.
I mean, there's an example like there's some bird on some island, and there was like something to where they had their beaks. You know, in a relatively short period of time, they had bigger beaks because they needed.
What islands are the Galapagos?
That's
Galapagos.
Galapagos.
It's in Ecuador.
Yeah. So I don't get it. I don't get none of it's over my head.
Darwin's finches, and that's what they teach you in every evolution class.
It's probably fake.
I mean,
all lies. Darwin lied about everything. He didn't see nothing. He just made it all up. You know that happens.
Not believe him.
You find that years later. Darwin's a complete fraud.
Did you say the Galapagos are off of Ecuador?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
How is Ecuador? Are you afraid there? I guess if you're with someone that lives there, it's not as bad. Just like if
we're not.
When you dress as bad as me and John and look as poor as we do, people don't mess with you. They like people with nice shoes and nice shirts.
And we're giants over there too. And like even Trace would be like probably considered one of the taller folks over there.
Nice! I gotta head over.
Move to Ecuador, Trace.
And like here,
Ecuadorian football.
If you're a privileged person and don't have never been in bad areas or things like that, or don't have people skills and can't pick up vibes, it'd be more dangerous. But if
when you do drugs, as long as me and John,
yeah, you can kind of sense where you're somewhere you shouldn't be, and people's behaviors kind of throw signs out there, and it's kind of somewhat common sense, but you definitely want to keep your head on a swivel and know not to pull out your phone in any place that's not like a
or your wad of cash.
Yeah.
The key to not getting robbed is just to look poorer than the people doing the robbing. If you look poorer, then nobody's gonna rob somebody who looks poor. They're going for the rich people.
It helps, yeah.
That's true.
Are there bars to go to and stuff like that?
Yeah. I mean,
do they not live in huts?
Yeah, no, it's well, there's a lot of it's like third world, but then the bigger cities, it's sort of similar to here, but everything's on a smaller scale and kind of more simplified.
They have paved roads.
Yeah. Well, in the cities,
she doesn't get it.
Cities and highways, but if you get out of the big cities and off the highway, it's probably going to be a dirt road.
I need to find a way to get some pictures of different cities and do Is This America or a third world country with Mom? That'd be a good segment.
That would be.
She thinks if you leave this country, that's just mud huts.
Mud huts.
And and
pretty
it's I do kind of feel that way, and I know that that's not true, but it's just hard when you don't know, when you're not. I don't know. I wasn't ever taught on the big cities of Iran, so I'm I don't know what's over in the middle. All you see in Hollywood
that's how they like to keep.
They want to keep it that way. I mean, you watch a lot of TV, and you still see guys with spears in Africa, and it's they had to go out and really search for these last tribes that exist. A lot of Africa's just as good as here,
Mm-hmm.
Mud huts are really not much of a thing. Even I've been with remote tribes in hundreds of miles away from any kind of civilization in Peru, and even they would have 2x4s that they would trade, or things from a long time ago, or people who volunteer to go help them and things like that would bring things. So
maybe not mud huts, but but I picture them as a house with no windows.
Yeah,
and
yeah, a
with
lot of
just-
that. Yeah, and it's like tin,
See, that's what
roof, and just made by a couple 2x4
and some
pillars.
sheets hung
yeah.
up in the windows.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. That's most
Okay.
of the country, you know, as far as land is concerned. Most of the people live in the bigger cities, so I'd say the majority of the population is doing better than that. But, you know, if you go outside of that, it's a lot of like what you're talking about.
Okay.
Here's Iran, babe. Look
Yeah,
at they
I
got
know. They got
skyscrapers
universities and they've got,
look at that. They got cities.
They got cars.
They got tall buildings in Iran.
People have jobs in offices.
They wear clothes. They have
I mean, a
they
lot
have
of
knives
times on the news, all they do is show people throwing, bombs, throwing grenades at other people.
I mean, it is pretty true. It's like every Hollywood movie that they ever mention anything in the Middle East, they're like,
Yeah.
and it's just like camels and desert.
And they want you to think, so when we go invade them, you think you're invading a bunch of savages.
And you're helping them. You're actually,
Yeah,
we're actually helping them.
We're helping
Yeah.
them, yeah. Look at our country. We ain't helping nobody.
I'm curious what you guys think of the whole Chinese balloon thing.
Chinese balloon.
Balloon shalom, like, I don't know, man.
It could be one or the other. It could be fake bullshit that they knew about that was going to happen just to get people all worked up. Or it could be a Chinese thing and we did everything wrong because our government's incompetent.
It's so
Which one
unsettling.
of those is it? Nobody will know.
That it got all the way across the U.S. before
Yeah.
they did. I mean, like, our concern is something that's coming very fast and doing some damage. If you couldn't stop a balloon that, just
Right?
maltzing over the...
How are they going to stop a missile coming towards us?
That's my concern,
Well, I
Yeah,
saw an
that too.
update that was like, former so-and-so from the Trump administration says multiple balloons came over and went undetected. It was like, well, if he knew about them, they weren't undetected.
They say now that they didn't know about them. 3 balloons flew across America under the Trump administration, but we just found out about it. It doesn't even make any sense.
And Trump is saying,
nothing they do
nobody
makes
told
sense.
me about that. I didn't know that happened.
I'm pretty sure the one we saw must have been a Chinese balloon, right?
It could have been. It
We
could have
definitely
been.
saw
Me and John, John hit me up at 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and we went and ate breakfast and talked politics for an hour.
Oh my God.
Where's the tape of that conversation? That's the show right there.
I know.
That's what people want to see.
Why do that? I mean, why with the balloon? Why they have satellites and they can make little things that fly, the size of that are so small. Why a freaking giant balloon that's so obvious?
To make a spectacle
To make
out of
us-
it.
to give it-
It's got to be that.
To get us talking about the balloon.
Power
To distract
And
us.
Get you
distract
talking
us.
about that and not thinking about something else. they're doing.
Inflation and
Yeah.
The Earth's pole's about to flip. I keep
Yeah.
seeing more stuff about that.
That's what the earthquake
That it's
was
actually
about.
still, and it's about to start a flipping.
It's about to start a flipping. Now, I mean, wasn't there one video you showed us about the balloon science behind the balloons?
What about it? Yeah, what about it?
Isn't that so? It was saying they use the balloons because you're able to keep them on a certain course, and they're able to go undetected somehow.
They can't be
guess.
detected by radar, but you can see them. So I don't get it, and that doesn't make
Wait a
sense.
minute, what's up there?
I don't know. It just seems like a whole big scam.
Undetectable blimp. It's a great idea.
As long as you don't look up.
Seems like a good way to carry something that's, a gas or something if they wanted to do something bad.
Well, they say, like it'd be a good way to release an EMP attack, nuclear explosion up in the air, which would take out your electrical grid. So maybe it's a
Have
test.
they ever done that
test.
before?
Nobody's ever done it. Could be a
So
myth.
who knows
Could
if
be
it
a
would
myth.
work?
I don't know. Nobody's ever done it. They claim they can do
I've
it.
heard about it for years.
Who knows? I don't. You can't. There's no truth. You can't find anywhere that you'll find a story and you'll go, oh, and then you could Google the opposite and you go, oh, they say the exact opposite, and it's really hard to find out what's
So
true.
they got it now.
Is there any way they didn't know that nukes caused all these skin diseases and cancers and stuff? Like I've said, I've seen a video where they put these guys right next to a nuke on a boat, and they're like, we're going to nuke you so you know what being in a nuclear explosion is like. And then they all die from cancer.
Yeah, but it took them a long time to die from cancer.
It did, you know. There was like one guy still surviving. His skin's like all bubbled up, and he's like, I'm the last survivor from a nuclear explosion.
Or the one guys who were on the boats, and they're like, yeah, just don't look directly at it, but we're going to explode this nuke. And then they all say, and then we all saw each other's x-ray with our own eyes.
They said you could see everybody's skeleton and shit through your eyelids. Oh, that's not good.
No. I mean, but isn't it possible? I mean, giving the government the benefit of the doubt that they didn't know anything that radiation would do to people. I don't know. Was radiation new?
I thought, when did they start blowing those bombs off in like the middle of Arizona, in Nevada? You know, and they have those nuke sites. You know,
imagine that would be. That'd be in the 50s, probably, right? 50s, because they didn't test. Did they test the nuclear bomb, or weren't they trying to keep it a secret?
I don't
know. They dropped it. They nuked a lot of our own people. Like I've tried to find the one of them on the boat before, and I've Googled it, and like 3 other things where they nuked these guys in the desert, and they nuked these guys in boats, and nukes on nukes on nukes.
Destro says they started testing nukes in the early 1940s.
Isn't that wild that they had that technology back then?
Says, the world's first nuclear explosion occurred on July 16, 1945, when a plutonium implosion device was tested at a site 210 miles south of Los Alamos, New Mexico.
Can you imagine that first test and everyone was just like, holy shit.
They had to put something out. They probably did it with a bunch of wild animals around, and just, you got to see if it's going to kill things, right?
Why you don't need wild animals when you got human guinea pigs. Or soldiers, I imagine, you ever blow something up and it blow way up more than you thought
so, and you're like,
Trace did that with tannerite, right?
I've seen Trace do that many a time with gasoline.
So they hit the button and they're like, oh shit, we didn't know it was gonna do that.
And then the double shock wave.
I mean, it seems like such a strange. I mean, it doesn't seem like that long ago that TV and the internet weren't such a thing, and now we have so much information, which is mostly
bullshit.
And everyone expects to hear the truth about everything all the time. And not too long ago, the government didn't have to worry about telling us anything. They didn't have to lie. They didn't have to say squat. So now
they got to lie constantly. Just the lying has been ramped up.
I guess I should have read the directions on the tannerite. I got another one after that one time and read the directions, and it gives you like the equations on how much you're gonna blow up and how far you're supposed to stand away. And I did it, and it said I should have been standing 210 yards away when I did it.
And he was standing 10 yards away.
I was 8 yards away.
Should have read the instructions on the gasoline can before put the flame to it.
You're not dead with gas. Gas has killed and burned so many people.
Tannerite, that guy blows up the refrigerator, and you see it like
the door come flying at him.
No, the whole fridge.
The whole fridge.
What is that?
Tannerite. It's a weird explosive. I mean, it's not like flammable. You have to shoot it to make it go off.
It's just available to anyone?
Yeah, you can go buy it at the store. Rural King sells it.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. You blow a lot of stuff up.
What's it supposed to be for?
I think blowing stuff up.
That's it.
Blowing up World Trade Center.
Oh, boy. Have you seen, though, like when they would test the nuclear bombs in the desert, after the blast, they'd go check it, and it's like a half-mile radius of glass. It turned the sand into glass.
Into glass.
Isn't that crazy?
They weren't expecting that.
Who figured that out?
Were you with me and David in the woods when I blew up that one fire? We put like a bunch of stuff on and then poured like 8 gallons of gas on it. And then I made a little trail, of gas out like 30 feet away.
A safe guy.
And I thought it was, most gas fires I ever made, they just go,
Yeah.
But this one blew up. Like I've never seen it. Like exploded and shot. I mean, the whole woods looked like it was on fire. I mean, it shot flaming debris.
Oh my god!
Like hundreds of feet everywhere. Oh,
Doesn't sound like something I would want to be a part of.
we were just walking around for like 20 minutes, stomping out fires in the woods.
Tannerite is used for target practice, basically.
That's
it
called
produces
blowing
a loud
stuff up.
bang and a puff of smoke when struck by a bullet traveling at least 2,000 feet per second.
Yeah.
So they use it for
Is it expensive?
Tracy, you blowing stuff up? No, I'm just target practicing.
Remember this guy from the pandemic?
No.
He was given the lowdown on the shots, and then the shots aren't going to work, and they were giving everything he said was true. Like he said it at the very beginning. He's talking about the booster, and they're going to come out with boosters, and then they're going to make you have a vaccine card. So this is his take on that.
Did he get fat?
Looks like success went to his head.
It looks like he shouldn't be wearing that shirt, I'll tell you
Yeah.
that.
He looks mildly ard.
Yeah, real ard.
What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to tell you something that's really going to scare you, and it should.
Great.
The biggest part of the Great Reset that you're all missing is the carbon credit scan. And what is the carbon
I've
credit
heard about
scan?
that.
This is where they're telling you where they want to monitor, track, and trace every so-called kilogram of CO2 that you emit. And they say the global average needs to be 2 tons per person per year. And you're using 16 tons per person per year, which means your activity has to go down by 800%. So how do they plan to do that? Well, first of all, they got the new first MasterCard in the world that is going to show a carbon allowance for every single purchase you buy. And to make sure that everything has a so-called carbon credit, food, when you buy food now, if it's vegan, it's going to show you this nice low score of only 1 kilogram, 1.3 kilograms of CO2 per serving. Now, meat will be off the chart, so that's going to be a no-no. Check this out. If you go to a restaurant, even an Italian pizza place, they're going to show you the amount of CO2 for your dish. So literally everything you eat, everything you buy, is your clothes made of leather? That's going to cost more CO2 because it came from a cow. So every single thing you do is going to be tracked. Why? Because they want to put limits on how much you can spend monthly. They're telling you you're using 16 tons a year, and they want you to use 2 tons a year. What does 2 tons look like? Well, check this out. Say you wanted to fly from Toronto to Amsterdam, and now Google, by the way, Google Flights shows the carbon emissions on that flight. That flight from Toronto to Amsterdam is 478 kilograms of CO2. That's almost 25% of your yearly
While the
allowance.
politicians fly around.
In private jets, wherever the hell they want.
And who's going to be able to say, and nobody can check that. Are you sure that's 400 not 300?
That's stuff on the food. How do you know that a margarita pizza, costs?
It's just a made up.
It's made up. It's made
Seems
up.
like
shit.
if they
It's
are
made
going to
up
do that,
shit.
they're just trying to get you used to doing what you're told.
That's all it is.
And having
All it
less,
is.
so that you get used to slowly get used to having less because they're going to be taking more and more away.
Well, that's why they're trying to get people to not use cash anymore.
They show you a lot of stuff in China about, the lockdowns and everything, but they don't show you much about this. Like I've heard China's been doing this for a while.
Yeah, they have a social credit score system, and if your social credit score isn't good enough, you can't buy the food at the grocery store because you got to use your phone, which has your personal credit score, your social credit score about whether you're being a good citizen, and you can't buy shit if your social.
Oh my god, it's literally like the Black Mirror episode.
Man, I'm gonna be so out of touch with society in a couple years of this. Like I don't agree. I won't go along with shit. I'm not good with it at going along with things.
Well, they'll put you right in the cell, buddy. They take you to the camp, re-educate you, buddy.
Finally got my credit score up to being really good, and they're gonna change it all to this. I'm gonna be so mad.
They got you got your credit score up, but
Don't worry.
Whoops,
if you
sorry,
go
my
over
bad.
your limit,
But they made everything so expensive that you can't buy anything anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
I like them apples, buddy.
They just started putting the calories next to most things in more places. They're gonna start putting carbon footprint crap on
Yeah. There's so much information now on any product you get. It's got all these symbols that mean different things about recycling and this free and that free and this free. And, oh my god!
How are you gonna get these
Better start growing a
people
garden.
that they got their F-350s that got them pumped up to do more fuel so they can roll coal? How are these gonna? They're gonna get these guys to care about their carbon footprint.
I think there's going to eventually be a civil war, and then half the country will be the woke crowd, and half the country will be the other crowd.
I refuse to fight anybody besides maybe like a bunch of Chinese people coming over and trying to kill us. Unless there's like a different country trying to kill everybody in our country.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way I'm fighting for nothing.
Do they even have to come over and try to get us in troops? They just bomb you now.
Yeah, I think that would be the more likely scenario than a ground invasion.
Yeah.
I don't think, because they can't imagine the United States military, as far as the soldiers coming up in the last 10 years, where they've relaxed the standards.
Ugh.
And they're the military's now teaching this woke shit. That's a big, it's like that does not. You're supposed to create killing machines that'll go kill anything for your country, which is an unfortunate necessity. But now we got a bunch of fat woke people who aren't going to fight. Let's finish off the credit deal.
I'm running.
They're going to charge you $170 for every kilogram. For every kilogram of carbon credits you need. This is how they're going to control where you go, how you're going to get there, what you can buy, what you can eat, who you can see. And now imagine that in a world without cash. And imagine that in a world where the government gets to control every single transaction. And this is why they're constructing 15-minute cities, aka prison camps. Because when they put these carbon credit allowances into these cities, they're going to have you on perpetual lockdown like they did with COVID without having a virus. Thank you, everybody.
He was right about COVID.
Oh, man. That's not cool.
How long do you think TikTok's going to be a thing with China's all the crap going on between them?
Yeah.
I mean, they should have banned that a long time ago.
I don't think so. It's I've heard many things that it's just all jealousy from Silicon Valley. Because they say, all these things that TikTok does to spy on you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they're like, every app you have spies on you just as much as TikTok. They're just trying to find a way to push TikTok down because
so Facebook
and Twitter are all just losing so much money since TikTok came out.
That sounds like
they're just trying to squash them because they're losing all their money.
And they say it's the other argument is it's dumbing down everybody. It's really dumbing us down. The algorithm is makes you stupid. But if they got rid of TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, they would immediately do exactly what TikTok did because it was so successful.
Exactly, and they already are starting.
Facebook Reels is the same
deal.
Same shit. It's all a bunch of So I mean, you're probably right, Trace.
Well, I went and called because I've been having some issues with my computer being slow. And it's an Apple Mac. And I called on my Apple iPhone. And I called the Apple store. And they're like, okay, what's the issue? And I said, my computer's starting. So they're like, is it the Mac 13 that you have there? Just over the phone, they know that I have an Apple Mac sitting in front of me. And they're like, all right, we're in. And they logged onto my computer just because my phone is close to it.
They can do anything
So I was just like, what the fuck?
They can do anything they want.
They're like, is it the Mac 13 or is it the other Mac that's in your house?
Ooh. Scary.
And I was like, the 13.
It's
and they're
all
like,
over.
okay, we're on it. And
It's
they
all
already
over.
start controlling it.
I can't convince people to take a cold shower to save my life. And people
Why?
just refuse to do
Why?
it. It sucks.
What is the benefits of the cold shower, Trace?
It's just like, I'd have to sit here for the rest of the show saying the benefits it has.
I mean, because
Yeah.
if it's a health benefit, this constant groaning and gout and aching and
It's the constant groaning.
constant groaning isn't making me believe that there's any benefits to a
If
cold
taking
shower.
a cold shower makes me constantly groan, I don't think I want to do it, Trace.
I am in peak physical condition. I don't know what you guys
with
are
the
talking
gout
about.
and what was it yesterday? His neck or something?
You get a kink in your neck. Everybody gets a kink
Okay, I
in their neck
did.
every once in a
Cold
while.
showers are killing you. They're killing you, Trace. That's what it is.
He could spend the rest of the show telling us how the cold showers are killing him.
All
And
right.
try and convince us to do them.
All right, I got to pee. We got to take a break. We'll be right back with more ClusterF. Thanks for tuning in. I was strolling for furries at a seedy EDM bar in Baltimore when I saw a figure staggering out of the bathroom. It was Nancy Pelosi. As she made her way down the hallway, she slipped on some vomit and smashed the vodka bottle she was holding.
Oh, shit.
I went over and helped her up and told her I had a bottle of Grey Goose back at my condo, and she eagerly accepted my invitation for a nightcap. I told the driver to step on it. I had a live one.
Come on, dude, she's holding.
And we were back at my place in no time. Once back at my place, I poured her a triple shot of Grey Goose. She downed it like a sailor, and I whispered in her miracle ear that I wanted to make love to her. She said that she and Chuck Schumer had just finished using the articles of impeachment to snort up some celebratory blow that we'd have to screw later. She said she wanted to get wasted and make prank phone calls to Mitch McConnell. But first, she took a big swig of vodka right from the bottle. She then proceeded to blow up an inflatable Ivanka Trump doll, and then defecate in a MAGA hat in a performance art piece entitled 2 Girls, 1 Cap. She was gourded out of her mind. I asked her what she was on, and she handed me a hit of PCP. Then she whispered in my ear,
You ever hated America? On angel dust?
I took the hit of PCP, and soon I blacked out. We hit the road. We stopped to pick up a hitchhiker. He was wearing a red, white, and blue coat and a white beard. He was Uncle Sam. Nancy invited him to her place, and he said, cool. I don't have anywhere to go.
I have $23 trillion in debt.
That's about the time Nancy chloroformed him.
Shut the fuck up, old man.
She told me to hightail it back to her place, while she took upskirt photos and sent them to the Ayatollah. I faded in and out of consciousness. One minute we were helping illegal immigrants dig a tunnel under the border. The next, we were assisting Rachel Maddow in giving Meghan McCain a partial birth abortion. I vaguely remember Nancy shoving a pill in my mouth and saying,
Chinese Adderall. It'll put some pep in your step.
The next thing I knew, I woke up in the basement, right next to Joe Biden, who was giving Greta Thunberg a back massage. I stumbled to the bathroom, and there was Nancy Pelosi, giving Uncle Sam a golden shower. While Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren fingered each other and watched.
This is pretty hot.
I was overcome with desire. I grabbed Nancy's hair and said,
I declare a fatwa on your filthy American vagina.
She immediately dropped her Aisha's panties and began to take off her hijab. I said, no, leave it on. I mounted her and cried death to America with every stroke. Her large fake boobs, paid for with your tax dollars, jiggled up and down and up and down. This went on for what seemed like hours. She was not an easy woman to satisfy, and it wasn't until I ripped up the final page of the U.S. Constitution that she finally climaxed.
Impeachment is
The last thing I remember was turning down a free mustache ride from John Bolton. I woke up 3 days later with a text on my phone from Nancy Pelosi. It was a picture of me with Adam Schiff's balls on my forehead. Oh yeah, she took my guns too.
I will free myself from all you have.
Welcome back to ClusterF. Thanks for coming in, John. John's an old family friend. He used to go to high school with Trace.
Go Wildcats.
Oh my goodness.
Played soccer, high school football together.
Just the best, worst teams you ever seen in your life. Just like 3 decent players out there trying their hearts out. While everybody flailed around like idiots.
Good times.
It was, yeah. He had some success on the football field.
Yeah.
He did. I didn't.
Those are pretty good teams.
Oh, the soccer teams were great.
So yeah, just a few guys, just really good guys, just carrying the team with a bunch of scrubs, 7 scrubs and 4 good guys.
You know, I'd go up there and I'd try to go score by myself like once or twice, and I wouldn't make it. So like the third time, I'd be like, maybe this time I'll try passing it to Brad, and then Brad gets it and like trips over himself and face plants on it. Like, oh, no.
Happened every time.
Why did I do that?
So hard to watch.
As soon as you pass it to like half the players, you pass it and you're like, "Now get it back to me! Now kick it back to me, please!" And they lose it.
We always made it to regionals, and then a couple times we got to, or I don't know, I forget what it was, but we made it past the first level.
And then Tampa Prep would beat you.
Yeah.
Or Bishop McLaughlin.
I mean, we played one. I remember it was the best time I ever had. Like the last 10 minutes of the game of my senior year, I was just like, I'm just going to start plowing people over like it's fucking football. Like,
might as well. You know, I think we were talking the other day about growing
mammoths,
artificial wombs, you know, and replacing women. Well, here's an artificial womb, and they grew a calf in this womb. So they actually can do it. They can actually do it.
Can you imagine how many of these there are around the world with humans in them, with whatever,
mutated humans because it didn't work out right?
Yeah, trying to figure out what they can grow. Or
look at that! That thing's alive.
That's freaky, man.
That freaking. It's all over.
The womb was artificial, or they took it out of a.
Let's see. It says. Let me see what it says. This is the artificial womb that successfully grew lamb fetuses. And it could help prematurely born babies. So they stick them back in.
They try to
stick them back in the womb.
They try to say it's to help this or that. It's like I'm not sure what it's for.
It's replacing women. I don't know. I don't know what. Yeah, that could help premature. You do all this just so you can stick a premature baby back in the womb, I guess. I mean, they do have a pretty good success rate with premature babies now.
Yeah. I don't think we need...
Well, we need to save every single one.
Yeah, I don't
there's
think
some
we
other
need to
reason
save
they're doing
everything.
It's got to be something else they're doing with this freaky shit.
Play the video again.
Or maybe it's just fake. Maybe it's not. Maybe none of this is real.
I believe it.
I believe it too.
What is it? Is there an umbilical cord? Like, that's what I want to know.
There's something stuck into that sheep that's feeding it. It has to be. So how do they do that? I don't understand how they. I don't even want to know. Probably best to, like Trace. It's probably best to not to know what's going on in the world with these kind of experiments.
When's it gonna not be cold anymore? I'm over it.
This weekend's gonna be cold again.
I was just thinking that. I was like, this is the coldest, the longest it's ever been. Like,
it's been
in Florida for a while.
Poles are flipping. It's gonna create an ice age. We're back.
Florida's gonna be Antarctica.
I wish it would stay cold year round.
You can't. I mean, you can't even dress warm in Florida either, because you wake up and it's 40 degrees out. But if you dress warm, by the time it's 1 o'clock, it's 80 degrees out.
Yeah.
That's Florida.
Yep. That's what I hated about high school. It was like, because, in high school, you don't really have any time to, change outfits. So it's like you have to wear what you had all day, and you're wearing jeans and a sweater.
It's so rough in Florida. Sometimes you get a little hot because you dress too warm. It's so rough. It's so hard down here. It's a hard lifestyle.
It is.
It says here, a Pennsylvania family made joint decision to commit murder-suicide.
I saw saw that.
So here's the people that did it. Morgan Daub. So that's a female.
That's the daughter.
And her daughter. And her parents, James Daub and Deborah Daub, left detailed notes explaining they made the joint decision to end their lives together. So I think the girl said she wanted to commit suicide, and so they all decided to do it together. And they were doing it, they were real religious, so there was something to do with their religious beliefs.
About the demons getting them.
Yeah. And it says the guy, every one of them wrote a letter. The dad wrote a letter, and he said he was not ready to end his life. But by the end of the letter, he had decided to do so.
He took another hit off the meth pipe halfway through the letter.
The family left additional notes admitting that they died at each other's hands. So they killed each other.
Wow. Who did the last?
Yeah, who's right? Were they actively writing as they were killing themselves?
No. It says, the guy says, with only 2 guns and me being shaky, my wife Debbie pulled the trigger for me. So his wife killed him.
He wrote that?
How's he writing this?
That's like the Monty Python
She shot him and he wakes back up like, one more sentence.
I guess that's what was going to happen, and he wrote it all down before they did it.
And then she had to kill herself?
I was too shaky, so my daughter pulled the trigger for me, Deborah wrote.
The daughter?
So the wife killed the husband, then the daughter killed the mother, and then the daughter killed herself.
Man.
Jesus.
That's a lot of...
What the
That's
hell?
a lot. That's a lot.
This is sounding like a murder. I think somebody murdered somebody.
That's why they wrote the notes to make... Of course, it didn't matter. They're all dead, so it doesn't even matter.
How bizarre.
Was thinking like Romeo and Juliet, but not with the daughter.
Morgan, the daughter, was found wearing earmuffs, and she did not leave a note, but police determined that she shot herself.
Earmuffs.
The bodies were found with gunshot wounds to the head, arranged in a straight line.
That's weird.
That's weird. How do you...
Terrible parents.
I'm going to kill myself, but I don't want to hear it.
Yep. I mean, it's just like that note sounds just like the Monty Python skit when he's like, and then he's like, what is that? I was like, it looks like it says, ah. I was like, he wouldn't be writing that as he's dying. He said, no, it says, and then, ah.
They left instructions for taking care of their dog.
Oh, that poor dog. Well, that's better off, but that's so weird.
Okay, yeah. Well, it seemed like it'd take a lot to kill somebody in your family, even if it was, they wanted to die a suicide. Man, they were just she shoots him, he shoots her, then she shoots herself.
So they had to figure out who would be the brave enough to shoot themselves.
Yeah.
And a couple bitch ass parents, know.
Yeah, how do you convince two other people to go ahead and kill themselves?
How old was the daughter?
She was 26. I mean, the mom killed the dad first, so that's like if to start it all off would be the hardest one. All right, here we go, honey. And then that's how we're gonna do it. You kill me now.
And say you have to do it quick. As soon as I kill him, you got to kill me.
And
otherwise, we're gonna start talking about shit.
Yeah, and start feeling bad. And then usually a lot of times in the murder suicide's the last one to kill themselves. They either fail or they can't do it. They can't do it. But she did. She's a cold-blooded gangster. Killed mommy, then killed herself.
How is there any update about the lady who killed her terminally ill husband in the hospital and then couldn't kill herself?
They're not going to give many updates on that because they hope it goes away so they can just let her go.
Yeah, I mean, maybe wherever that was, maybe in the local news. I haven't heard anything about it. They don't follow up on these stories. I'd like to know what happens to her.
Like a Dr. Kevorkian type thing?
Yeah, he was...
She blasted him. Right? Yeah. She
gun?
Kevorkianed him with a gun.
Jeez.
Then there was a standoff because she was just going to kill herself, but she didn't. I don't think she went through with that. And now did they arrest her?
Yeah,
you're not going to hear what happened.
But I mean...
They never follow up, man. I want to know.
Len Carr said a new season of South Park starts on Comedy Central on Wednesday.
That could be interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
What is the Super Bowl this weekend?
It is Sunday. It's 6:30.
Oh,
Sunday
man.
at 6:30.
Oh, 6:30. Why don't they do it on a Saturday or something when everybody can stay? I mean, every job, in school, everything I've ever done, you know, the day after Super Bowl, all the teachers come in like, oh, you know, their day's ruined.
I know. Well,
Everybody
they
at
could-
work is tired.
Why can't they change that to Saturdays?
Because it's Super Bowl Sunday and it's going to stay that way.
It's going to stay that way.
Seemed like it would make sense. I don't know.
At bars, you know, bars would be
Seemed like
busier.
it'd be
College football's done. It's the only football game on. It's the only, you know.
Guess people just have to watch it.
Is our country too bit pussy? Do you think even have good commercials this year?
Oh,
They're gonna
brother.
be terrible. They're gonna be all
They're
woke.
usually so
gonna be woke
bad.
commercials. Yeah, they were good for a while, and then they went. You know, then they stopped being funny.
This year it might be fun to make fun of them how bad they are.
Yeah, that's what I was
That's
thinking.
on-
I don't know. It's going to be, I bet it's going to be atrocious. I wonder, man, no, but ain't nobody going to be coming to my restaurant for Super Bowl Sunday. It's going to be awful.
Are you working
I'm
on
working
Super
a
Bowl?
double.
Ooh.
You might get let off because I don't think anybody's going to be going to your restaurant on Super Bowl Sunday.
I hope not.
Usually it's a lot to-go orders on Super Bowl Sunday.
No.
That's usually
Well,
that's
that
usually
won't be mine.
that's not your kind of restaurant. They're not going to get a lot of to-go orders. Do you normally get a lot of to-go orders?
Not a lot.
Yeah, so more it's like wings, like beef O'Brady.
We got, supposedly we have pretty good wings.
They
Decent wings.
really stopped that went downhill real quick. I think it was because we were the only restaurant out here when I first started.
Yeah.
And also it was more of a thing, people getting wings back. I think more back getting a bunch of to-go wings for their party.
Yeah.
Now it's just too expensive. People get like 50 wings, 50 to 100. Some people get 200 wings. And back then, that's like 100 something. But that's like $400 now if you get 200 wings.
Oh my
like
God.
Probably.
Yeah. The price has doubled for sure. I saw a guy, I was getting some dog food at Walmart. I get the 12-pack of just the pedigree now. I used to get the dog's Purina, and then I went to pedigree because it was getting so expensive. And it's a 12-pack, and it used to be like $11.99.
Yeah.
And then it went up to $13.99, and then it went up to $16.99, and the last couple times I've gone, it's $19.99. So it's $20 now for something that used to be $12.
That's almost 100% inflation.
Yeah.
Why is
Why is there 100% inflation
on dog
food? And some guy and his wife were getting a couple cans because they only have one dog, they said. And the guy was like talking to his wife right behind him. He was like, he was getting like a can of Iams or something. He was like, look at the price. He's like, that's like $2.14 for one can of dog food. And I told him how much the pedigree one used to be. Shut up, Trace.
I'll get her 2 cents in.
She said, you know, we have
Get her 4 cents in now because of
I
inflation.
didn't say that, but I just said how expensive it was. I said, this used to be that much. I said, now it's $20. And I said, well, all our dogs will be eating Old Roy pretty soon. And he was like, we're all going to be eating Old Roy pretty soon.
That's a good one.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm done going to get coffee at Dunkin' or any place. That was only occasionally I'd get Dunkin' Donuts for a coffee and maybe an egg and cheese.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty gross, but I was hungry, so occasionally I would go. I'm done now because now maybe they charged me wrong, maybe they didn't, but I don't care. They charged me $10.20 for a coffee, a small coffee, and a shitty egg and cheese
Small coffee.
thing. $10. I was like, all right. that
Sounds appropriate these
Me
days.
and John used to have an apartment together, and he worked at Dunkin' Donuts, and he'd always
thank you
call
for
me
that.
and be like, hey, you want any free food? And I'm like, nope. And I'm like poor. Like, I'm eating dog food out of the fucking cabinets, and John's like, you want some Dunkin' Donuts? I'm like, no, don't bring me that crap.
It is pretty terrible.
It's pretty nasty. Their breakfast stuff is pretty nasty.
Yeah.
It was a highlight of my life. Those couple months there.
Yeah. I mean, I think McDonald's has the best egg. I get, a couple times a year if I'm working, a lot at the shop, I'll stop and get a coffee and a egg and cheese only McMuffin. They're pretty tasty.
They have some good McGriddles. I'll give them
I
that.
used to like those.
Pass on all that.
The hotcakes are pretty good. I like.
It's all nasty.
Oh, yeah,
It is. I'm
It's all
done.
nasty.
I mean, how bad can hotcakes be? What do you mean nasty?
It's probably
pancakes.
fake pancake mix. I don't know. Like
cheapest.
The cheapest of the cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, you ever see him make chicken nuggets?
I went into when I was at Walmart. I went to Subway to get a Coke. I just got a medium Coke.
Yeah.
It was $4.
Woo!
It's like stadium
What are you
prices.
talking
Yeah,
about?
it was $3.90 something. I was like, whoa, that's
What the
pretty.
fuck?
That's pretty expensive for a medium Coke.
Where was
Like,
that?
Subway at Walmart, in the Walmart, thing. And I was like, wow, $4 for a medium Coke. And the guy was like, yeah, it's probably just for this plastic cup. I was like, yeah, that Coke probably cost him about 10 cents. He's like, yeah.
The Coke probably cost him about a penny.
How much is a coffee? So you get a large coffee at Starbucks or Dunkin'. How much is that? $6?
$6, $7.
$6, $7.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you could have Plato Latina on Bears Avenue. Get a large Cuban coffee for $3.50,
Yeah,
man.
man.
And
All
then
that-
that chicken, the chicken dinner.
The chicken dinner and some fried plantains. It is so good. I wish. Is there any Cuban places right around here?
I don't think so. I don't think there are.
Nothing Cuban out
Can't
here
get that-
yet.
I think allegedly you can get cafe con leche at
Rice and
beans, but I
Yeah,
think we
Puerto
got it one
Rican.
time. It wasn't that good. Cuban coffee, cafe con leche is so good, so good.
Still never been in there. It seems like it. It's
I've
right.
never
It's
been
right
either.
next to Whiskey's.
Yeah.
And every time we're over there, it seems like it's fucking popping.
Is
They got
it?
live music, and I just never. It's like a little bit fancy, I think.
I don't
Really?
think so.
Like,
Tracy
it-
thinks BJ's is fancy. So.
You gotta wear shoes.
Oh God.
Here's what we need more of. This is surfing champion.
Oh, I saw this.
Bethany Hamilton has just announced she will not compete in the World Surf League anymore if they allow biological men to surf in
That's right.
women's
Good for her. 'Cause
events.
She
Yes.
has one fucking arm and she's trying to compete.
And she has to compete against men.
And then these
now.
men come in and say, "Take this! I got 2 arms, bitch, and a penis."
I didn't get my arm bitten off by
3
a shark.
arms.
Someone said in the chat about the Super Bowl, they said, what's the under-over on the trans and Super Bowl commercials?
I'm saying there's definitely some type of transgender commercials.
We only watched about an hour of the Grammys, and it was trans central,
It
man.
was. It was like, no wonder nobody watches this bullshit. It's
like-
make sure everybody's woke, and you can just shove that
It's like,
woke
I
right
couldn't
up your ass.
care less if you want to be trans, but
Yeah.
don't make me love you for it. Like,
And don't try to compete against women in sports.
Yeah.
That's nobody cared about it until that shit started happening.
And that's why they did it.
And that's why they did it. That's why they did it, to piss people off. Let's see what she's got to say.
Today, I
she's
want to
older.
address the news that the World Surf League has officially made the rule that male-bodied individuals known as transgender athletes can officially compete in the women's division. The World Surf League says they are following the Olympic guidelines.
Good for you.
While I address this issue, I want to be clear that I strive to have love for all of mankind, regardless of any differences. But this concerns me as a professional athlete that has been competing in the World Surf League events for the past 15 plus years, and I feel that I must speak up and stand up for those in position that may feel that they cannot say something about this. I think many of the girls currently on tour are not in support with this new
And
rule.
if you all just quit competing, they won't have anyone to compete with.
If they all quit,
You
that's
just
the
have to do
only
it.
way.
Mhm.
See, she's got the
You
balls
have
to
to
do
do
it. She, everybody needs to say, okay, we're gonna. She's the first one. We're gonna do it too, and then it'll stop.
Or it could completely backfire, and dudes out there trying to surf in dresses is going to be the funniest thing ever, and it's going to be better than men surfing.
Every single person in there will be trans now.
being ostracized if they speak up.
Right.
So here I go. Questions I have that I want to consider with you. How is this rule playing out in other sports like swimming, running, MMA. Have any of the current surfers in the World Surf League been asked what their thoughts and opinions are on this new rule before it was passed or announced? Should there be a conversation with the 17 women and all of the men on tour prior to a rule change such as this? Is a hormone level an honest and accurate depiction that someone indeed is a male or female?
Not at all.
Is it as simple as this? Who is pushing for this huge change?
I mean, I think pause that. I think that, like we have talked about before, you can take a woman and give her as much testosterone as she can take, and she still can't rise up to a man's level.
It's not an argument.
She's still obliterated in the NFL.
Close. Not even close.
Yeah, not even close. So the same goes for men. You can give them as much estrogen, and it still doesn't make them go down enough to a woman.
You could take the best female athlete in the world, say the best female basketball player in the world, and give her testosterone for 10 years, and then put her on the court, and she couldn't beat a high schooler on a one-on-one, a great high schooler on a one-on-one.
So the same goes
so
for
it should
the men, that you can't drop them down because they were born a man. You can't drop their testosterone, I guess, level low enough to be a woman.
You can't take a 6'3" dude and make him not a 6'3" dude.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you talking about?
Better the sport of surfing? Is this better for the women in surfing? If so, how? How did whoever decided these hormone rules come to the conclusion that 12 months of testing testosterone make it a fair and legal switch? Why is the WSL's statement about trans women competing with women, and yet there's no mention of converted women competing with men?
There we go. Finally, somebody saying, "Woo!"
Bethany.
Finally, somebody saying
Wow,
that.
good for her.
Finally.
And she's out of breath probably because she's so nervous because she's the
what I was
first person
thinking.
ever to speak up.
She looks like she's about to cry.
Yeah, probably.
Still grossing me out a little bit with that nub.
Oh, I didn't even
you
notice
can't even
it.
see it hardly.
It's tastefully out of the picture, Trace.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
personally think that the best solution would be to create a different division so that all can have a fair
See,
opportunity.
that's the obvious solution.
A whole
You have a trans
Fair
division.
opportunity.
To showcase their passion and talent. And I think it's really hard to imagine what the future of women's surfing will be like in 15 to 20 years down the road if we move forward allowing this major change. But we are seeing glimpses of male-bodied dominance in women's sports like running, swimming, and others.
When she moves her
My
one
hope
arm, the
is
nub
that-
tries, but it's like there's still an
She's
arm
talking
on it.
with her
She's like-
with her nub.
Trace is totally focused on the nub.
I haven't even looked at the nub.
I'm going to have to look at the nub here for a second.
Running, swimming, and
Oh,
others.
oh.
My hope is that if I ever have a daughter who is competing in surfing or any sport, and also for all the aspiring young generation of women, to have a bright and promising opportunity in her ambition to be the best of the best women in her sport. I personally
She
won't
is
be
like
competing.
really huffing and puffing. That's what I can't get.
She is.
Destro,
She's
Berlin,
nervous. That's what
remember this,
happened.
Berlin.
She did.
Destro says long speeches are about cadence. She's not properly pacing herself.
And speech is too long,
How do you
too.
how do you surf with one arm, man? That seems so much harder to keep your
Well,
balance.
she already knew how to surf.
I
so,
know, but
yeah.
still.
Yeah, and how do you beat a girl like that as a guy? I beat you, one-armed girl.
Yeah.
The lowest
What a
ever.
douche.
competing in or supporting the World Surf League if this rule remains. Thanks.
Good for
Bethany.
you. There we
Bethany.
go.
You got to be thinking a little bit more about sharks too when you're surfing with her, right? You're like, oh, this is more
Look what
dangerous.
happened to her.
Shit.
I really looked up to her when I was younger. You know, I tried surfing when I was a little kid, and I always freaked out about if I got attacked by a shark. I think it would scare that it would like permanently tear me away from it. But she was really a role model growing up to a lot of people.
John almost tried to cut off his arm one time.
I want to be like Bethany.
To me, like that almost like makes it better because I'm like, all right, if I try surfing and I become good at surfing, I mean, the chances of me getting my arm bit off just like her are so slim. So I'll be fine.
Me and John made a surf trip to what? Cocoa Beach.
Yeah,
That was useless, man. We did not. I mean, the passenger in the car, our old friend, you know, he passed away, but he's just sitting backwards. You know, we're trying not to get arrested because we're all drinking and we're smoking weed and stuff on the way to Cocoa Beach. But he's sitting backwards in the seat with his feet away, like towards the seat, with his eyes closed. And there's a surfboard coming in. So John can't see out this side. Only he can.
Already blind.
Sitting there with his eyes closed, and John be like, "Can I get over?" And he'd be like, "Yes."
Oh my god!
We're like, "No, Johnny's got his eyes closed."
Can I get? Oh,
we got the only person with $1 to their name was David, and he had like $40, and we were gonna make that last our whole trip.
Oh yeah!
And 30 minutes into the trip, David buys $40 worth of mushrooms
from random people spinning glow sticks on the beach.
Where's the $40, David? Right here. Like, no.
Oh my god!
And we all thought we could sleep in the car in random parking garages because the Ron John Surf Shop was open 24 hours a day. We must have went in there like 10 times. Some of these guys stole like stupid like wax combs or like like a hat or something. And
yeah, hat.
We went to a parking lot after the parking garage when none of us could sleep, and it's like 5 of us packed in my car.
I ended up just sleeping with a handle of Captain Morgan in the parking lot on the concrete.
Yeah,
like
I
a
remember
homeless
that.
person. And then a couple hours later, they wake up to go surfing, and I'm still drunk and hungover when
Me
we get
too.
there, and I'm just like drowning.
Me too.
I like forgot how to swim. Water's
it was terrible go.
I don't think I ever got up on the surfboard.
Did you take the mushrooms?
David did.
Oh, he took them all himself?
I think so.
Did he have a good time?
I don't know.
Yeah, he usually does, just doing his thing. Yeah, it was quite a group we had there.
Yeah,
it could have been so nice, like if we were older, planned ahead, rented a little apartment.
Planned ahead.
But we went at like 10 o'clock at night. We all just got the idea and hauled off, nothing with us.
No money.
It's the story of our life back then.
Who was what crew? What was the crew? David, John, Trace, and who? Just you three.
Billy
and Colton,
and your friend.
Colton was there.
I think he was.
How many people did you have in that car?
5.
Oh my
and we
God.
thought we could sleep in there. Like,
It's so hot.
Shoulder to shoulder.
10 minutes in, we
so
knew
humid.
Sleeping in a car
breathing.
sucks.
It's like 90 degrees out in the summer.
I didn't want to waste the gas to turn the car on or any AC. Oh,
Sounds like a good time.
I think it was. It's a good story.
Yeah. It was better than, I guess, any, not doing anything that night. We were young enough to sort of bounce back a couple days later. These days, that would probably kill me for months.
Says here a Mississippi state senator has come under fire on Twitter after posting a racist meme referring to the suspected Chinese spy
Is he the one
balloon.
that posted that?
Yes.
He reposted it.
Yeah,
he reposted it.
Because that's been flying around on the internet.
Why aren't you allowed to be racist to Chinese people? Because
you are unless you're a...
What they build for
because
us?
that's been already...
Railroad. They built the
Everything.
railroad.
Yeah, built railroads.
Everything.
And reparations for the railroad.
This coffee
now.
cup, these headphones,
Yeah,
our
they build
iPhones,
yeah.
these, that.
There ain't a thing
You
in
mean our
here.
Lencar headphones were built in China?
Absolutely.
Maybe not.
I bet they were.
Sony's.
I saw this other
Or
story.
Sony's built into like Japanese farm out their Sony's to China now.
Probably.
Everything's from China.
I think there's a box of the
There's boxes
Look at the box and see if it says made in China on the box of headphones. Don't. Oh, look at him knock that thing off the wall. What an
I
asshole.
didn't even notice.
What are they made in?
It's Chinese writing, so
It could be
it's made
Japanese.
in China or Japan or something. Oh, there's a lot of Asian writing on this thing.
All right,
Where's
please,
the Plumbus man?
please,
I think it's
Plumbus,
Tokyo.
Please, Plumbus, be a maid in the USA.
Conan Miko.
No way.
I don't know if they'll have to tell you
Japan.
where the Plumbus is made.
Japan, yeah.
I think Japan's higher quality, a lot higher quality than China.
The Plumbus was made in China.
That's why you broke it in the first 10 minutes. Made in China. So this meme just shows the weather balloon, like a different weather balloon, and it says, "Weather balloon, totally not for spying."
He got in trouble for that?
Oh, not
Yeah.
That's a good joke.
That's
right
hilarious.
there.
That's a
And it's
classic
like,
soft part
weather
joke.
balloon.
Now
They
why?
don't want you laughing at anything that might make fun of how someone else talks.
Why is it? Why can't you? Why is it racist to say that certain Asian dialects say their R's as L's and their L's as R's? That's not racist at all. That's just
That's how they
That's
talk.
how they talk. It doesn't even make any
You
sense.
can make a. He could have posted that with a saying from Mike Tyson and said,
Yeah.
this is spy balloon. And
Spy balloons.
This is spy balloons. But that's not anything. That's just how he talks. So it's funny.
I mean, people all over the world they talk in different dialects. Why is it? You're not. I don't even understand.
You're not allowed to make jokes about anything.
People in India talk like this. Does that mean you're making fun of them because you're
Racist?
You're imitating their voice. It's just the way they talk. They talk with their tongue on the roof of their mouth.
Racist. Is
all-
that how you
it's all
do
not-
that?
You know, and the people that are, it just doesn't make any sense because you get in trouble for that. But we're allowed to use the slaves to do everything. We use Chinese slaves for everything now.
But
you
no one
can't-
calls them
you
out
can't
on
make
it.
a fun,
and
make
you
a fun
can call
of
the
them.
government out on anything, and they never have to answer for it. So,
No.
What happened to him? Did he get slap on the wrist? Did he get? What did he
Oh, it
get?
just says he got. He's
Hey.
under fire on Twitter, which means nothing.
Yeah, which means there's
Twitter,
some people
which is owned by
call-
a guy who digs batteries out of the ground with slaves.
Yeah.
You know, like what?
It's like the Live golf thing. The PGA, the Live is run by the Saudis, and it's competing with the PGA, and everybody's up in arms because the Saudis are so oppressive, and they blah blah blah. All you people, tweeting this on your iPhone that's made by Chinese slaves, fuck off. You have you're just being as big a hypocrite as they are.
I saw Elon Musk talking to some guy on a podcast or whatever about the not even the Chinese, but all these slaves that we use all over the world and how they're told that there's not. He's like, oh, they all use slaves, and they're like, so what are they doing to make this better? He's like, they're not doing anything. And we're like, what are the steps we're gonna do further in the future to not do this? He's like, nothing. They're not gonna stop using slaves.
I mean, you can see the videos of the kids in Africa, at the mines getting the lithium and all that stuff. It's all a bunch of kids. So that's what they use to get the diamonds too.
That's how we can get everything. Well, I would say so cheap, but we'll see how it goes.
Now we can't even get cheap stuff from the slaves. What's the point of slavery?
Hey,
Seems like it'd be a good time to start a business that made stuff in America, but
you would think.
You would think.
It's not, I guess.
I guess not. They don't want none of that. They're done with that.
How are they going to keep that from coming back once everything gets so expensive, even though it's coming from China?
It don't make no
impossible.
sense.
And nothing makes no sense no more.
I saw a headline. It was like, with all the new jobs, it makes inflation seem like fear mongering. It was like, what does having more jobs have to do with that? It's like the inflation is the inflation, even if you have a job. It's expensive.
If you don't have, if they're not raising the wages, 40% to compete with inflation, then that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't. You get two jobs, and then you can get two jobs, and then everything will be fine. That's what they want you to do: working your life away, 12 to 14 hours a day, so you can't even have time to think about how they're screwing you.
Well, then.
I'm thinking about getting one of these guys. Do you think I should get one of these?
For sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking of getting one. I'm gonna
A
start
skirt.
wearing a
It's
skirt.
called a skirt.
I'm gonna start wearing a skirt. I think since it's Harry Styles is doing it. Where'd it go?
One guy used to
Lost
wear a
it.
kilt to our meet and greet. and I couldn't help but make fun of him.
I've heard
maybe
that
that's why
guy's
he's
name
never been
so
back.
much lately. Who is that?
Harry Styles.
You don't know Harry Styles?
Watermelon
John?
sugar high. Have
I've
you
heard
that
his
song?
name like 3 times in the last week.
Because he's
the
he's
biggest
on the Grammys and he
pop
dresses
male
like
guy.
in dresses and stuff like
He's
that.
a singer?
Yeah.
Do you know who One Direction is?
He was in
No.
One Direction.
Boy band
I've heard
One Direction.
I've heard the name One Direction, but I don't know anything about it.
He's got a popular song out. What's the
he's
other one?
got tons of popular.
As it was.
You know it's not the same as
I've
it
heard
was.
that. Yeah.
It's not. It's pretty mediocre. I think he won
It is.
album of the year
It
with that,
really
with that
is.
shit.
You know, I didn't like any of his stuff, but that song, like, I was really high the first time I heard it. And it,
Were
like,
you watermelon sugar high?
I was just thinking, like, it's not as cool as the old days that it is now, but I don't even know if that's what it's about. That's just how I took it. That's how I interpreted
couldn't
it.
figure out what it is about.
What happened to rock and roll? I haven't heard any new rock in
rock
like,
is
They
dead.
killed it. They
Rock
killed
is
it.
dead.
They don't like the
Nobody
rock and
talks
roll
about that.
messages.
Nobody talks about it like it just disappeared. And I've never heard anything about it going away or anything.
I mean, SoFlo was the #1 reggae rock band on iTunes, and they made like $80.
They got rid of that rebellious rock. We don't want people rebelling and questioning authority with that rock. And you listen, there's only one rock station that's not classical in Tampa, and that's 98 Rock now. And they still play. They're playing Led Zeppelin,
Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Linkin Park.
Yeah,
I
literally.
like Linkin Park.
And occasionally you'll hear Godsmack. I had a new one, and maybe Papa Roach. I heard had a new. But there's
Papa Roach has new music.
Yeah, but there's hear 2 or 3 new songs 2 days, whereas because it's gone and it's
They
just
want people like Sam Smith. Boo.
boy he's turned into a real unattractive fat toad. I think you can say I don't really care about his sex. I don't care about his sexuality at all, but he's a gross fat toad.
Yeah.
And he grosses me out looking at him.
Machine Gun Kelly's like the only rock and roll.
my
How sad is that?
Right?
How
And he's
is
about the worst.
Because that's some marginal rock.
Can you Google
the stuff
MGK at the Grammys?
The
Just
stuff he wears is just like, what are you
he
doing?
needs a big
Like,
punch in the freaking face.
His girlfriend's hot, so he can do whatever.
He's an asshole.
This is the biggest rock and roll star right now.
Yeah,
There
the
he
only
is. This
new.
right Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh,
Look at
my goodness.
douchebag.
I did watch this podcast the other day, and it was this guy. It was like, I don't know what he did. He was this little white kid, and he's talking to this black guy, and I couldn't find it uncensored where they actually showed it after I saw it the first time. But he calls him a little bitch. This little bitchy ass white kid calls this dude a bitch. He's like, He's like, what'd you call me? He's like, I called you a bitch. And he stands up, boom, knocks him the fuck out, and starts gets him on the ground, and starts smashing. I was like, that needs to happen more. I'm sorry, I'm not all about violence, but that needs to happen more to these bitch ass kids
It
that are like,
does.
I'm fucking cool as shit.
Yeah.
More beatdowns.
More
beatdowns.
There's a lot of beatdowns on the internet. I think I must have clicked on a fight site, and so now I'm seeing just nonstop beatdowns.
There's a lot of them going on.
We need to, there needs to be more beatdowns.
Sean Raz gave $10 on PayPal.
Hot
Thank you,
damn, Sean Raz.
Ooh-wee.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I don't know how this guy got on my TikTok. Like, all my stuff, like, my algorithm is set to more of like science and cool stuff and more educational stuff. But this guy always pops up live, and he's got all this fake jewelry on, just like ridiculous, like crowns covered in diamonds. It's plastic, obviously, but he just has one of those diamond testers that he's got rigged to say everything's real, and all he does for hours is, it's real, it's real. It's real. And I mean, I stumble across that almost every day. And I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I ever seen. But the other day, I kind of thought it was funny. I swiped next, and he popped up, and he was just on there like, it's all fake. I'm a liar. It's plastic. It's all
What would
fake.
you guys have thought, like as parents, if you saw your kids like really young, seeing some of the stupidity that we have now, just in abundance today. Like, what would you like take the phones, or how would you have dealt with that? I mean, it doesn't seem like anything we had to ever deal with.
Well, we talk to our kids a lot about stuff, so they are pretty much on our script of
we brainwash
what we
them.
believe in. Because we talk to them a lot, and having a show like this, is also, we talk to them a lot more than most people. But we also all had dinner together, so we would talk about all kinds of stuff.
I loved coming over here. I was over here quite a bit, and we'd all eat dinner together for like an hour at least. And, talk about all sorts of everything.
Every night we do that. Here, if you missed the Grammys, here you go, John. Here's Harry Styles right here. That's Harry Styles.
That's like an army man to John. Like, he can't see that shit. He's blind.
Looks like a female figure.
So this is this is a trans woman.
Oh no.
This is a trans woman.
Who is that?
Oh my goodness.
This is just some person. You got to be careful. Some person who's famous for looking like this.
Okay.
That's all. Going on naturally, having lots of takes about menstruating and stuff.
So these are men.
When they don't.
You need to go on YouTube and go to, like Harry Styles Grammys.
It's the Penguin.
So
Last guy
Oh
was
my
the
God,
Penguin.
it was.
What was it? It was the
It was
Penguin
the
dressed in
Penguin.
red.
That was
From Batman.
The Danny DeVito penguin.
Does the Harry
Just type in,
Styles?
like-
That's Sam Smith.
No, that's the
That's
penguin.
the Penguin.
The
in
Penguin.
red.
Sam.
You don't know him? You do know Sam Smith?
No, but it's a guy's name.
You would know him.
It's a male.
Some of his songs.
He's a
He's a
gay
singer.
guy, and he's nauseating.
Sing a couple of his songs. I don't know those.
What's this? With Dancing with a Stranger? No.
What's
I don't know a lot of.
Nah,
I'm not a
I
huge
don't
Sam
know.
Smith fan. What am I supposed to go to? YouTube, babe?
Go to YouTube and then type in like Sam Smith Grammys. He's so gross, like you said.
Are you driving way less than you used to?
No,
Do you have a
not
clean
at
driving
all.
record?
Yeah, because
Are you over 20?
carbon credits
Yeah.
is killing me. Who am I? Sam Smith.
About to
Grammys.
fight this girl.
And
on
look up at the
10 minutes into the
screen.
text into the
And just
commercial.
click on like 2023.
2023. Oh, jeez. Which?
Scroll down a little bit. There's
Hey,
one
wait,
where
oh, well,
look at that
oh
one.
my goodness.
That's
Look at the one, the third one down.
That's Christian Monahan right there. Look at the third one down. Okay.
Or wait, the one with the pink boa. Look
Yeah.
at that. That's just so gross.
Oh my God! Look at this whole.
He's
Let's,
so gross.
I don't want to. Good thing John can't see.
Big it up.
I don't want to know.
does come in
Oh,
handy.
look! Oh
my
God!
goodness.
Oh my God!
He's so. I mean, he thinks he's like the hottest shit.
He
He's-
does, and like he said, he's just a big fat
It's a
toad.
big fat bloated toad.
Where am I going?
Gross.
Where are my friends? I need a lover.
Everybody's looking for somebody
What is going on?
for somebody to take home.
I mean, even if that was Ariana Grande doing that, I would still be almost just as nauseating
Yeah.
because they're acting like they just are the biggest shit.
Forward it to the when he's in
the
the
biggest
silver.
shit. The biggest shit of them all.
Yeah.
Oh, why'd you closed it? Okay, never mind.
Oh, I got it. Oh Lord! Look at this!
Oh my God.
This is what they want everybody. This is what they're shoving down everybody's
Yeah,
throats.
this is what they're
That's
shoving
why
down your throat.
they're just using Sam Smith, which he's
He's
good
happy
with that.
to be used.
But this is what they want to shove down.
This isn't
everybody's
like
throats.
kids' music, is it?
Yeah,
They play it on the radio all day long.
Really?
Mhm.
Oh no.
That's
Yeah, that's what rant round.
Oh my
Rant
God.
round. I was, I'm feeling fluid all of a sudden.
Yeah, no, they pay me enough though. I'd do it too. What is going on? No.
How much would they have to pay you for you to put yourself with that many people seeing it?
Trace, $50.
Yeah, I'm holding out for 500.
I want to say a lot of money, but like you start getting over 10 grand, and I start thinking about a new boat. I don't know. We'll do 25,000. I need at least 25,000.
It's just a normal, normal Friday night at Sam Smith's house. I think.
I need at least 100 million to produce.
Oh, lordy.
Then he gives you the little butt tap.
Lordy.
Those are all guys.
This is what the
right?
kids are watching now.
I don't know if they got
this.
Oh, I think
No
they
wonder
are
they're
guys.
They're
so
all
confused.
guys, right? No wonder they're.
Oh my God.
Change it.
Yeah,
Change
they're
it.
so-
Stop
I
it.
can't.
They're emulating golden
stop.
showers on here.
I'm back up to 100,000 at least. Get out of here.
Oh.
That's why kids are so depressed.
Oh
and
my
negative.
God.
Stop it.
Oh, look at that fat toad. He's gonna break the chandelier. Get down off the chandelier.
Get off the chandelier.
You're gonna break it, Sam. Lord have mercy. All right.
If Bethany Hamilton gets canceled, I'm gonna have to. I don't know.
That would scar grown adults, much less what it does to kids.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Are you doing
AJ says, "What in the freak show is this?"
That's exactly what it is. It's a freak show.
If they just tuned in, they'd be so confused.
Wow. Are you doing a show after this or not?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think
everybody
John's
has
gotta
to
go.
support Bethany for that.
I think
Yeah.
everybody.
Go support her for that.
I
What's
mean,
her last name? I don't know.
Hamilton.
Bethany Hamilton, the one-armed surfer, making a stand
He
for
does-
what's right.
And his Navy says, super gay, fat Jude Law lookalike. He does kind of look like Jude Law. Yeah.
He looks like Jude Law gained 100 pounds. He ate Jude Law. All right, we're out of here. Thanks for tuning in to ClusterF. Thanks for coming in, John.
Yeah, thank you.
John Trace's friend from school.
Yeah, I think I've
From
talked
middle
about
school,
him many
did you-
many a times.
That's who John. That's who is sitting in here with us. Berlin used to do his homework, I believe.
Probably.
What the fuck?
Did you
Why are you
remember-
doing my friend's homework?
No, we
No,
just
'cause she
did
liked
our-
John.
Yeah, John was nice to me. We did our Spanish exams together in the middle of class.
Oh, yeah. I screwed myself so bad. I should have been paying attention.
Oh,
Damn
man.
it, Berlin. I can't communicate with my wife because of you.
Why were you in a Spanish class with my sister who's 2 years old?
I was special.
They, the last couple years or two I was in that school, they did put us like in our own special class of the kids that weren't doing too good, and then the smart kids were in the other class, and you're like, why don't we have any classes together? And they'd be with their glasses like, I don't know, Trace. Why do you think?
Trace is like, I don't know, I can't figure it out.
Jeez.
All right, we're done for the day. We'll see you Thursday morning, 8 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in to ClusterF. We'll see you. Take care.